got a bottle of Patron, and yes, my money feeling long, and yes, I'm smoking on it strong. I'm going all in. Every day we make it rain, busting open that champagne. It's going all in, all in, all in, all in. I'm going all in, drinking my wedding gin. You got a couple friends, well tell them girls they can come in. We popping rosé, looking through Cartiers. We got an ounce of Kush, so bring that OJ. Shout it, keep choosing, so just come my way. Sipping champagne and smoke this AK. A nigga up in the sky, so call me Mayday. Groupies calling my phone, but they on lay away. So let's go to the back, smoke this green, sip this jack. Got you laying on your back, beat that thing like rat-tat-tat. Ooh, we cutie, you got a big ass booty. Tell your friend fuck the club and let's go to my studio. Let go, we got the goose, we got the drone. We ain't leaving till by 4, so let's head to my hotel. The drunk got me moving just like a snail. We going all in, nigga, fuck a Richter scale. I got a bottle of Patron, and yes, my money feeling long, and yes, I'm smoking on it strong. I'm going all in. Every day we make it rain, busting open that champagne. It's going all in, all in, all in, all. I got a bottle of Patron, and yes, my money feeling long, and yes, I'm smoking on it strong. I'm going all in. Every day we make it rain, busting open that champagne. It's going all in, all in, all in, all in. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Damn, we out of all these bottles, we gon' need some more. A nigga tryna score, all in, guarantee to win. Bust open them bottles of Patron and then we back again. You smoking that mid, man, we smoking that Pakistan. Flyer than Peter Pan, this shit should be illegal, man. I'm whipping the Regal, man, higher than a seagull, man. Spinning like a ceiling fan, a nigga got them Benjamins. Ballin' like I'm Gucci, man, yeah, I like that Gucci, man. But I fuck with Louis, man, I even rock the Chewy, man. What you say, nigga? I'll even rock the Chewy, man. Hoes got my head so big like I'm Stewie, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls riding in my ride. Doors of suicide like these bitches tryna fly. I call them kamikaze cause these niggas tryna die. I'm going all in, you can catch me in the sky. I got a bottle of Patron, and yes, my money feeling long, and yes, I'm smoking on it strong. I'm going all in. Every day we make it rain, busting open that champagne. It's going all in, all in, all in, all in. I got a bottle of Patron, and yes, my money feeling long, and yes, I'm smoking on it strong. I'm going all in. Every day we make it rain, busting open that champagne. It's going all in, all in, all in, all in. I make the ladies go so crazy that they wanna have my baby. Maybe it's my Mercedes, maybe cause my gravy. Maybe because I've been going in so lately that some of them wanna date me and some just wanna rape me. Haters wanna hate me, but haters can never break me. Haters only make me, and this girl, she will take me. This ain't B-ball, homeboy, you cannot fake me. Sit your ass down, little nigga, don't mistake me. Now get down low, drop the flow and make it roll. Do it fast, do it slow, go all in and do a show. Make that ass shake as the rose pose on all foes. If you a baller, ain't got that guala, then make it snow. Whoa, the club ain't closing till about 4, so let go. Back to the room so we can smoke on some dro. The party really just fucking begin. I'm going all in, I'm going all in. I got a bottle of Patron, and yes, my money feeling long, and yes, I'm smoking on it strong. I'm going all in. Every day we make it rain, busting open that champagne. It's going all in, all in, all in, all in. I'm going all in.
Beats Planet.
Smoking Irene, she make me wanna sing. Rolling up on some of that green, she fin the limousine. Smelling like gasoline, that shit that'll make you fiend. She tastes minty clean, like Listerine, she do a thing. I'm smoking, choking, blunts we rolling, never keep the windows open. Irene, she so damn potent, got a nigga steady token. I ain't joking, baby, she keep my mind right. Smoking Irene all night, someone please hand me the light, so she can bring me the light. Smoking out the bombs of pipe, I don't need no lean or spice, cause she got me like a kite. I don't know where to go, Irene got me moving slow, just be smoking more and more.
fiend, I need my fix, my medicine. She brings me joy, no one can bring. I'm in the cloud where angels sing. Shout outs to Wiz, cause I'm on them paper planes. Keep them rolling paper switches in my Mrs. Mary Jane. Yeah, you know her name, Irene, yeah, that's my lady. Wanna hear the fuck you pay me, I don't ever share my baby. I'ma keep it 100, I always stay blunted. Got a chopper for you coppers and you bitch niggas who want it. Tony D, pass the trees. A nigga getting high, so hand me that Irene in that bottle before I go off full throttle. Break it down, roll it up, light it up. I feel good, I feel good. Break it down, roll it up, light it up. I feel good, I feel good.
When I ring, she makes me wanna sing. It must be a dream, the way she makes it seem. I ring, I ring, I ring, I ring, I ring.
Here, let me get this thing right, man. Here. Oh, whoa.
Beats Planet.
Hold on, chat. We about to be there. Give me a minute, chat. Technical difficulties.
ScarecrowBeats.com.
I'm headed all the way to the top. Tell them haters that we won't stop. I'm trying to be the best, the cream of the crop. Tell them haters that we won't stop. I won't stop till the day I drop. Tell them haters that we won't stop. I'm making hits while y'all making flops. Tell them haters that we won't stop. Back in the days I thought this rap shit was funny. I'm looking back like goddamn I was a dummy. I was hungry, trying to find something always to do. Not chasing for the money, just something that I could score. I was a fool, fucking with the bitches at my school. Now I'm at the Benjamins trying to make a move. I got my chips up instead of get my dicks up. Now I got the money in the back of my pickup truck. Niggas in the hood up to no good. Kind hearted but really misunderstood. I'm always hated on cause I made their favorite song. Maybe I'm the one that girl is debating on. I'm in the phone, my favorite ringtone. The one she thinks about at night while all alone. You can have her though, cause I ain't your average Joe. Never let a pussy fuck up your money flow.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I done held you down, light skin.
Get some calls. Hold on 1 second. Got a pool call. Sorry, chat. Sorry. Hey, Ezra, what's going on? Okay, I actually went and ran it, but I turned it off. I ran it. It didn't do nothing, but I'm gonna leave it off. All right, bet for sure. All right, gotcha. All right. You too. Bye bye. All right, guys. Salute to everybody in the building. Forgive me for my delay, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of sit and talk to you guys about some real stuff today. As you can see what the title is, it's a little bit on the sensitive side of things about this Adam Toledo situation. There's also the thing with this, I believe with Deshaun Wright was his name. I think the 18-year-old who got shot by the police officer who mistaken it for a taser or something of that matter. And now we got this 13-year-old armed or unarmed, we'll get into that soon, who was killed by Chicago PD. you know, the internet. I actually knew about this story. Maybe like I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. Let me see, because I actually can pull up the actual video that I saw 2 weeks ago. I saw the video 2 weeks ago because I follow this channel by the name of Windy City Report. Let me see. It's called Windy City Report. It's about all this stuff in Chicago, because you know Chicago is notorious with gang members and a lot of other things like that. Just gang violence, gang in general in Chicago. So the video was titled, let me see. I think this is what it's called. So 1 week ago, April 5th, Adam Toledo's mom begs Latin Kings not to turn up on CPD. We do not want that in his name. So I heard about this. I heard about this mother, this 13-year-old who...
Southwest side, at least that's where he was when he was killed. I'm not sure if that's where his family was from originally, but he was killed by CPD down in a little village, okay? And the Latin Kings were vowing to turn up on CPD for this and to shoot at, quote, unmarked police cars.
Reverb on your voice, bro.
Oh, wait, I got my reverb. Oh, no. I appreciate that. Thank you, Trey Wu. Salute to Trey Wu. I don't think that's the case. Let me see. Hold on. I know what you're talking about, but it's still there? Let me see. Oh, that's where it is. Okay. My bad. Chat. Testing. My bad, chat. Appreciate it. Thank you, Trey Wu. Salute to motherfucking Trey Wu.
What you mean you inviting Kais if you're not inviting me? Yeah. What you mean?
So let me go ahead and start this from the top, since we got more people in here. Salute to everybody. We have 96 in the building. Hit that like button. All right, so Adam Toledo, 13-year-old, killed by Chicago PD. I actually heard about this story back on April 5th from Windy City Report. I'm gonna play a little bit of the video, just a little bit. This was actually a video I saw a week ago, like I stated, and at that time there was there was body camera footage of the incident, but it had not yet been released. So I'm gonna play this just so you can hear a little bit, not the whole thing. But
at the beginning of the week, guys, we had a very disturbing incident that didn't come to light until several days later. There was a 13-year-old boy named Adam Toledo. He was a Hispanic kid from the south, I believe from the southwest side. At least that's where he was when he was killed. I'm not sure if that's where his family was from originally, but he was killed by CPD down in a little village, okay? And the Latin Kings were vowing to turn up on CPD for this and to shoot at, quote, unmarked police cars. So before I say anything else, if you drive, you know, the Ford Explorers or one of the Interceptor type cars, any of the kinds of cars that the CPD guys drive, okay, you know, like the same type of car, but you know, it looks like it could be an unmarked car or whatever, don't count, okay, don't depend on like the gang members down there to check the license plate or be 100% sure. I wouldn't drive that car, like especially in Latin King neighborhoods right now, man, because they're vowing to turn up, and the mother of the young man who was killed is begging the Latin Kings not to do this. She said that he was a sweet and loving boy and she doesn't want any bloodshed in his name. They don't.
So there you go. So that's what you get the point here. So salutes. Hey, is the chat moving or my shit like, hold on, am I still alive? My shit just like, everything just like kind of like went weird. Chat, y'all there? Testing. The hell? Oh wow, wait, something's going on. Hold on, my shit is moving weird. Chat, y'all there? I need everybody to say something real quick. I don't know what the hell, that shit is moving really weird right now. Okay, y'all are, okay. All right, bet, got y'all. So, I heard that story. Latin Kings doing this and that to cops. I'm like, what's going on here? Well, it's kind of weird. Maybe he's a little kid, lives in Latin King neighborhood, cops killing, you know, Hispanic kid. Latin King's about to turn the fuck up. You know, I get it. Then body camera footage drops on Twitter. The body camera footage is quite disturbing. I'm gonna show you it to hopefully to the point where it stops immediately after the shooting, because I do not want to show that on this channel. Let me see. Yeah, this is not what I want to show. I gotta show.
Should he have been out there charged with?
I need to show.
Shots fired. Shots.
I need to show the blood. I need to go. I just need to go to something like CNN or something because I just can't do this. You know, I can't. I just need to make sure that everybody is getting the understanding of this full-on footage. So here is the footage.
Another officer chases 13-year-old Toledo down an alley. The officer shouts at Toledo to stop.
Please stop! Stop right now! Hey, show me your hand. Stop it!
Toledo turns and begins to raise his hands. The officer fires a single shot. The officer begins CPR, but it's too late.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Get an ambulance up here now.
So first and foremost, I want to say about this whole entire incident, man. Rest in peace to the kid, man. That was a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show my brother this video. Next time I see him, I'm showing him this video. My brother's not involved in any gang activity or nothing, but I think this is definitely something we should be showing our kids, and we should be letting our kids see this type of stuff because this is real life stuff, and this is the type of stuff that at the end of the day, you know, if they continue or they want to take that street life. This is something that can happen. Yo, Trevor, we don't need 1,000 of them, bro. We're gonna get to that. Let us. We got you, brother. You ain't gotta spam it 5,000 times, man. Make sure these people ain't spamming like that, chat. Trey Wu, hit things with a wrench. At the end of the day, we're not, you know, we need to make sure we are showing our kids this type of footage and letting them know, brothers, nephews, whatever, that this is the path that could end up happening when you take that type of, you know, just being out at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning at 13 itself is already dangerous. So now when you see that initial thing, when I seen that initial video, I'm thinking like, wow, he was unarmed. He got shot by putting his hands up. We're at the point now that if you put your goddamn hands up, you can still get murdered. It's a lot of things running through my mind, you know what I'm saying? And those are the type of things that we always see on the internet where we get these type of clips. We get the pictures of the kid, not you know, pictures when they're younger and smiling. And at the end of the day, regardless of the matter, regardless of what that kid was doing or what he was, it was still a kid and he still got shot. And it still was a fucked up situation. So I'm not at all trying to bash this kid at all. But what I really want to do is start showing, really what this live is about is pointing the fingers at the right people, or more than just the police at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? More than just blaming the cops for everything. Because at the end of the day, we're out here killing each other more than cops. And at the end of the day, these type of things are not at all being talked about, not at all getting, you know, the attention it needs. You got wars with BDs and GDs going on, wars with Latin kings and vice lords going on. But the moment a cop intervenes and kills, that's when we want to go and tear shit down. And I feel like we need to make sure that we are on all fronts at the end of the day. This is something that we need to cover on all sorts of levels. Now, as I stated now, so Adam Toledo is running. He stops all of a sudden, turns around, puts his hands up. Wow, shot. That right there off the rip, when you first see that video, is what may, and forgive me, I was outside with some cement. That will, you see it just for that, it's a real fucked up situation. Unarmed teenager shot by police. But the problem is that the media does not always give you the full on detail of the story. I've seen stuff where people are saying that they planted a gun on him and this and that. Well, I want to show you guys what led to everything. The whole entire thing. Adam was unarmed when he was shot. But Adam had a gun and released that gun within, I think, 0.800 seconds or something, 800 milliseconds. So he had a gun, released it, and instantly was shot. So it's like, we're talking an 800 millisecond type of time frame. And at that time, do we really, at what point do we shift from it being the cop's fault and his bad determination to being like the cop doing the best he could do? Because the cop is a human. A cop isn't a robot at the end of the day. Yeah, Zay already knew that I was live, bro. But Zay, I know Zay's live is, he kind of has to go through his donation, so it's all good. Like, I already told Zay I was going live. He knows. I gotta end this thing kind of early. I gotta eat and shit. So it's not like Zay already knows what the deal is. Let me show this. We talked about Zay is gonna be going live about this topic as well later on. So let me go ahead and play this full on video real quick, and we're gonna dive in even more deeper into this real quick. This is the whole night. This is the whole entire night. Well, before we even get into this, I'm sorry I have to do this because I don't like to criminalize people, but I got to give you context into the full thing that we're dealing with here. It's not about trying to slander a person, because at the end of the day, a kid was killed, and that part in general is sad. That's the sad part here. And he was technically unarmed at the time. So I'm doing research, and it's all over the internet. Adam was a 13-year-old that was involved in a gang, and my guess is that he might have been involved with the Latin Kings. One, for instance, for that video we just saw with the Windy City Report talking about Latin Kings willing to turn up, and because of his name is Baby, he had a name of Little Homicide, aka Baby Diablo. That was his nickname. He was out at the time at 3 o'clock in the morning. And there was a picture. I'm not the best when it comes to gang signs and all that, but you know, this is like some of the pictures that people have been posting. It's a t-shirt, Little Homicide, you know, pictures that people have been posting, Facebook posting all that, you know what I'm saying, Baby Diablo. And there was another picture, I think this is the picture right here, this hand symbol. So I'm just guessing, like I said, I'm not fully involved, nor do I know. But that symbol, when it's turned upwards, I'm not gonna do it. When it's turned upwards is Vice Lords, and the fact that it's pointing down, I'm thinking it is a disrespect to Vice Lords, like it's downs. Because I know GDs and BDs, they throw it up, and then throwing it down is the disrespect. So I'm guessing he was a Latin king, or maybe something of that matter, and he's throwing down the Vice Lord. Hello. Okay, yeah, anyway, yeah. Oh, my bad, I didn't show y'all that, my bad. This is the picture I'm talking about. He's throwing down the Vice Lord. It seems like throwing it down, so I'm thinking that he's possibly Latin King. Doesn't Latin Kings and Vice Lords beef with each other? You know what I'm saying? Here's my bad, the Little Homicide t-shirt. Like I said, I'm not the best when it comes to the gang stuff, especially like Vice Lords and all that. But I'm guessing he was a Latin King for the fact that the Latin Kings were willing to slide and all that. So I learned about that. I'm like, okay, he's out at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's possibly involved with Latin Kings because of what the Latin Kings were willing to do. And then I seen this video right here. Basically, I have to figure it out. We could do it later. But the time span of this everything is like maybe like 30 minutes. Like he did something and then died like 30 minutes later. Probably even less than that. So this is 2:28 a.m. Salute to Seeker, Twan, Gucci, Bryce Hillman. Hit that motherfucking like button. So this is Adam and I guess a friend of his walking down the block. By the way, let me pause it. In Chicago, they got these things called shot scanners or police scanners or something of that matter. They're pretty much on every single block because of all the crime going on. When shots and things go off, it's constant recordings almost on every single block. You can even follow an account on Twitter called like Chicago PD Scanner or something, which tells you like shots fired here or shots fired here, one person dead. Like it's on deck. Like Chicago is a battlefield. Chirac it's crazy. So this is something right here. This is another area right here. So, okay. So remember this, guys. Remember this area. Remember seeing this, okay? They're up there. That's them right there. They're right here. You can see little heads moving and shit. Now, I don't think the audio's here. I heard audio elsewhere, though. Here you go, here you go. So they just bust that, I don't know, they were shooting at that vehicle you saw. They just shot the fuck out of some vehicle. PD scanner hits, You know what I'm saying? Shots fired. Cops know about it already. Look, you see them running back. They're running. So 220.
1002 Sam.
1002 Sam.
2356 South Sawyer, 8 rounds, corner on the street.
8 rounds, corner on the street. These cops know this guy. So we saw it 228. That's when that happened. 238 now. 10 minutes later, the cop is there. I don't know what's going on. This cop is on feet chasing this kid already. He's right in front of the kid. Kid's running. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear some stuff.
Please stop! Stop right now! Hey, show me your fucking head!
Bam. Pause. I'm paused there real quick. Show me your fucking hands. Pointing at a firearm. There's a firearm right there. Firearm. So peep the time, 2:38:39. He is armed right now, still. Running with a gun.
Stop it!
Drop it. Hands are up. It's 1 second later. Bam. So this is what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with this type of situation now where is it? Split second, hand moving up. Cop doesn't know. Cop saw a gun. Cop hand, guys, like, where does the human error, where does the seconds of everything actually start becoming where it's like, shit happens, the situation is fucked up. I see it's a baby and everything, but where do we still, like, where does that the line drawn where a cop can defend itself? Right there now, at that time, we're depending on human error or the human being eyesight and everything trying to make sure everything's correct. Does the cop need to be shot first? Like, we don't, like, that's where I'm sitting at this with this whole situation now. I've seen things where they said that he tried to plan it. Let me see, make sure I don't want to show nothing else. I just want to make sure, I don't want to show. Okay, here it goes. Here's the other angle, by the way, chat. Remember I told you to remember this area? So the kid shot up there. He must have took another back alleyway back around this way, and they kind of like looped back around or some shit. But you can even see the kid now from this angle throw the gun, like he tosses it. Look. He right there, he's tossing it. He's gonna like dish it off. Boom, he touched, boom. Whew. This shit's crazy, bro. Firearm in hand. 2 minute, 2:03, 3.4. Officer fires 2:04.182. 838 milliseconds between gun showing in hand and single shot. So that's where we're at now with it. That's the part here that's crazy. This kid was unarmed for 838 seconds. Am I here to defend the police officer? I'm not. I'm more so here to ask the question to you guys is where the fuck do we would determine where this is legitimate or not? If the kid would have put his hands up with a gun in his hand, we would say, oh, he was armed, he got shot. Where do we give this at? Like how much responsibility do we put on the officer at that point when it's a milliseconds of difference from one to the other? I had a talk with, I think, Zaya about this earlier today, and I'm sorry I have to use this analogy in some shape or form, but it's somewhat, you know, it's somewhat the best way to explain it is I have another analogy too. If I go into a grocery store and I take Reese's off the shelf and I put them in my pocket, and as I'm walking, I see an officer in the front, and right before I leave out, I throw those Reese's on the floor. The fact of the matter is I stole at the time. Am I still a stealer now? Am I still stealing? The fact that I released it? Or let's say this. Hold on. Let me read some of these comments too. Or, I mean, the more fucked up way is if a man sexually assaults a woman, he's sexually assaulting a woman. A cop busts in on the door and he backs off. At that exact point, he's no longer assaulting that woman. But did he assault her? Was he assaulting? Like, is that the fact is that exact moment, do you still then say, oh, he's not doing nothing wrong at this point in time now? That kid was armed the whole time until that last second, that 800 milliseconds, and then boom, he was unarmed, moving fast. Everything's going fast, rushing the moment. They know he has a gun. They know they're chasing someone with a gun. Where do we determine, you know, where the cop did the best they could do versus the cop fucking up. That taser shit, that's a whole different thing. That's a fuck up, straight up. I mean, gun, you know, it's a whole different thing. I really want to open the lines up on this one, guys, because I want to hear everybody's perspective. RIP to the kid, man. It's a fucked up situation. Everybody needs to show their fucking kids this shit, man, because it's fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to say the cop had, you know, the cop was, you know, kids deserve to die. I'm not, like I said, because people like to take it that way. But I honestly feel like the cop did the best he could do, bro. In a situation like that, like I don't know what else the cop could have did. Take a second to wait. I mean, he could have probably waited a little bit longer, but at the same time, when you're chasing somebody with a gun, it's like, what do we need cops to do at that point? Take a shot, take the risk of getting shot or getting killed? I don't know. So I really want everybody's opinions on this, bro. My blame goes far beyond that, and that's the parenting. You have a 13-year-old that's out at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any kids. Maybe somebody out there has a kid that's 13 and they can tell me it's harder than you think to fucking. What's going on, Rick? Hold on 1 second, Rick. Hold on, Rick. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Maybe it's harder to control kids at that age. I mean, I know I was 13 at once. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinion now, and I think Rick Rosé's in the building, and Rick probably give us some good ass fucking advice on this situation, because I know Rick is well known in that department. Hold on, let me get this up. Yeah, if you wait for him to aim, bro, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just like there's certain levels, there's certain things that, like, boy, 800 milliseconds, bro. 800 milliseconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I'm trying to think of things like 800 milliseconds. Like, if I'm doing the girl or something and somebody bust open, I'm sorry I'm adding sex to it. I'm just trying to think of something that, like, something I'm doing, and in 800 milliseconds, am I no longer doing it? I don't know. It's just crazy. I'm just, I don't know. Let me get my man Rick in here, though. What's going on, Rick?
Hey, yo, what's good, Chi?
What's good,
My
man?
fault. I'm in a restaurant right now. That's why you hear the noise and everything. But
Rick, you were a police officer, right?
I am a police officer. Yes,
okay.
I am.
Okay, how do you see this?
Let me tell you something. It's unfortunate, but that's a good shoot. It's a good shoot because that kid raises his hand and fires at you. It's like, what do? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where, like, when you're battle tested, you're stress tested, but now you're faced with a situation. It doesn't matter how old the individual is. He has a gun. He's putting his hands up, not knowing what's going on. It's very, very, very testy, and it's unfortunate in this case. The case with the taser, all day, every day. That was you can't fuck that up. That's a cross draw from the left to the right.
Yeah.
I don't know how 25 years you're on the job, you're cross drawing, and you mistaking your taser for your weapon. First and foremost, let's get something straight. Your taser is heavier, is lighter than your regular sidearm. Let's get that straight.
Yeah.
When you draw the taser, you're drawing from your weak side to your strong side. So if you're a lefty, you're drawing from the righty. If you're a righty, you're drawing from the lefty. So I don't understand where that happened. But in this case here, it's tough because a lot of people, you know what I tell people when they see situations like this? Put yourself in that position. Put your dad in that position. Put your aunt, your uncles, your mothers, everything in that position. We face every day and we're not promised to come home, okay?
Yeah.
And I want people to see that, you know, we go to work not guaranteed to come home. There's no other profession other than firefighters and maybe EMTs that are faced with that situation.
Yeah.
So all you're thinking when you're going through a situation like that is that I have kids. I have a wife. I want to go home, and I want to make sure I go home safe. So when you see something like that, it's unfortunate. A young man lost his life, but he had a gun. We don't know what he was going to do with his gun. Like I've had one of my coworkers shot in the face. By the grace of God, he's still alive. I've had another coworker shot in the leg. By the grace of God, he's still here.
Yeah.
We are one of the very few professions we go to work not guaranteed to come home. So by the grace of God, every time I get on a live, whether it be you or Skinny, it's a blessing because I'm not guaranteed to come home. So
Yeah.
it sucks that a young man had to lose his life, and blessings and condolences to the family. But we have to show our kids this. You're exactly right. We have to show our kids this because at the end of the day, our kids are our products.
Now let me say something let me say one thing, Rick, because my man Dre, what you just said, Dre, goes the same way the other way. If that kid wanted to shoot the cop, he would have shot the cop while they were running, and then he would have stopped and actually froze like that. The cop asked him to, I would leave it there. It's really hard to call. If the cop really wanted to kill the kid, he was chasing someone he knew that was armed. He knew that kid was armed, so he could have shot that kid while he was running if he really wanted to kill him as well. It was just a situation when they both paused. If that cop wanted to shoot that kid in the back, I mean, it would have been a whole nother situation. But at the same time, if it was like just straight blood trying to kill him, I think in all honesty, in that situation, that kid wanted to surrender. The best thing for him to do was to stop, drop on his fucking knees and just fall. Like that's it. Like that's the best thing he could have did was just stop, dropped on his fucking knees. All that sliding up and trying to tossing the weapon. Let's say he tossed the weapon, he turned around and put his hands up and the cop didn't shoot him. The cop was going to find the gun. He was going to get that gun charge. That gun charge was done. They knew you had a gun. The best thing you could do is just fucking, I don't know, run and just, I would just fall on the fucking ground and put my hands out. Like, but at the same time, I could say what I would have did then, and then in that actual situation, it'd be totally different. You know, you can't really ever call it, you know?
You know what it is? It's easy to Monday morning quarterback. It's easy. We can all put ourselves in the kids' shoes. We can put ourselves in the cop's shoes. At the end of the day, the important part that we got to remember is this. We got to make sure that we educate our kids. We got to make sure that our kids are aware, because I'm a police officer. I'm a black man I'm a black man before I'm a police officer. Okay, let's get that straight. All right. I'm not only black, I'm also half Dominican. I'm half Hispanic. Okay. To some extent, we are feared. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. We are feared because you got to remember the history of this country is piggybacks off of a lot of racial tension. Okay. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. Okay. A lot of people, if you know what I mean. So we just got to educate ourselves, and we got to ensure. Me personally, our department is the first department, and we've never had any issues, no problems. But once you're coupled with one bad apple, everybody faces the same detriment when it comes to how we're criticized, and that's okay. I chose this profession. I deal with it as such. But I want everybody to know out there is that I'm not saying the kid was wrong. I'm not saying the officer was wrong. I'm just saying let's make sure ourselves aren't wrong. Let's make sure our kids are not wrong. Let's educate ourselves. Let's educate our kids, because at the end of the day, I got two sons. Okay, both of them are black, both of them are Hispanic, and I'm gonna try my best to ensure that they are educated to know that out here it's a different battle, it's a different war. Just make sure that you're smart and you're walking within your means. Yeah. Because the less and less that we don't educate our kids and we don't take responsibility for our children, because those are our loins, the more and more they're susceptible to that type of negativity.
Exactly. And I want to show the chat. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to show you the best as possible to think about it in this predicament. If you're a cop, the kid is running, right? The cop, this is a gun for instance, right? The kid's running. Something weird happens where you see there's a thing here, right? The cop, let me see. I'm trying to think of the best way to show it. The kid's running, right? And then the kid goes like this. You see the gun disappear. Then when he spins back around, his hands are up. The last thing the cop saw was a gun in his hand. Then he saw his hands up. That he has to picture if there's a gun out. When his hand goes up, he got to know if it's like that or this. That's what it is. Is this or that? The last thing you saw in that video, there was a gun in a kid's hand. It went behind. You no longer see it. It's like a magic trick. What's coming out next? The hand or the gun? You don't know. Is that this or that? This or that? Is the you can't. So that's where this shit like slaps. When you watch that video, the gun is there. It goes like behind, and he turns his body. Then he spins around like bam, and it's like that's where I think it is. Like the last thing that kid saw was that gun. I mean, the last thing that cop saw was that gun, and it's either do I take this risk of someone I know that was just shooting, or do I shoot? You know, and that's where we at now. Like it's a fucked up situation, but you know, you heard it here from Rick. I mean, it just when you're in these situations, it's really dependent on the cop and their stress level. Some cops will take it differently. Keno, what's good, man?
How's it going, man?
What's going on?
Hey,
Hold on. My bad. Go ahead.
All right. So when it comes to the cop and the shooting, you have to realize that, you know, the cop, he's a human being, right? He had, what, 838 milliseconds to decide what to do.
Yeah.
So that's up for judgment, right? So he might get hit with he's definitely going to be off the force. He'll probably get hit with like a manslaughter charge. And they'll implement some type of additional training for police officers. But I just want to say also, when it comes to Chicago and the black community in Chicago, you won't see any rioting in the name of him. That's not going to happen. And I'll say this one thing, right? The kids from Little Village, last year in Chicago, it didn't matter if you was in a gang or not, but if you were black and you were driving through Little Village, the Latinx community were shooting at anything black over there. So now, and also when everything happened last year, anyone in the Latinx community, they weren't out there, out there protesting with us. So now you won't see any riots or looting downtown Chicago in the name of this kid. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like also, why don't people keep the same energy anytime something happens? The first thing they say is, oh, what about the parents? What about his father? Where's his dad at? What about his mother? You're not
Keno, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why don't we act the same way when we're killing ourselves?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
We all about Black Lives Matter, but listen, I see our young men killing each other every day, all day. What are we doing in our own communities to ensure that we're not hurting ourselves? Because let me tell you something. People are only going to treat us the way we treat us.
Correct,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, right? To a certain extent, right? So I mean, again, just saying, oh, the black on black violence, the Latin, Latinx violence, right? That's systemic, man, right? It's a
Hold on a second, Keno, hold on. Yo, practice. I had to mute you real quick. You had some bad feedback in these headphones. Go ahead, Keno.
Yeah, so again, that's systemic, man. So nothing over, people always say, oh, what about the black on black violence? Dude, come on, man, stop it. We know that if you have a group of the same looking like people, eventually they're going to find an issue with the person that stays across the street from them, right? Whether it be, them fist fighting or with gunplay, doesn't matter. So just like you have white on white violence, it happens all the fucking time, right? So you want to stick on the points of what about the, us sticking together in our community? That's fine and good, but this is not a utopian society, right? We would want everyone to basically have enough food and shit like that to eat. No, motherfuckers out here home across the street from me has more than I have. Guess what? I'm going to try to take what they have. That's how it is. That's the reality of the world.
Yo, first and foremost, give a huge shout out. Salute to Sleepy Fire Kicks in the building for that cash out. Appreciate that, brother. Salute to Sleepy Fire Kicks in the building, man. You already know what it is. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what Rick is saying though. I'm more so on the Rick side is that we just see so much action when the police kills somebody than parents that have kids in gangs that are getting killed every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
all I'm saying is that we need to treat it across the board the same way. If a police officer is doing something that he's not supposed to be doing and he does something, we need to keep the same energy. I'm not saying that one is worth more than the other. We need to fight for us. We need to fight for our blood because at the end of the day, it's only our blood being shed. And I'm sick of it. I'm really tired of it from both ends. Like, we got to take a stance. We got to take a stance.
Right, but at the same time, right? Police officers, right? Being a police officer is not a nationality. It's a choice to join the force and be a police officer. That's your job. So it's not like, oh, because you're a police officer, it makes you, holier than thou. No, you got piece of shit police officers in the world, man. They're just people.
So Keno, I get, we're not off topic, we're on topic, but I want to hear from you about this situation. Do you blame that officer?
No, I don't blame the officer.
Okay,
Not at all.
so you think he tried to his fullest, and he had
again, this goes back to the fact that the police officer, he's just a human being. He's not no superhero.
Yeah.
He's not supernatural. He doesn't, he's to blame because again, he has enough training to understand that his job is to basically de-escalate a situation, not to escalate a situation, not to go in there basically, like a freaking bull. No, your job is to de-escalate situations. So when you see the kid running, because Shot Spotter, that's the name of the technology you're talking about, Tony. Shot Spotter.
Yeah,
right? It's literally on damn near every corner on the south side and west side, right?
Keno, are you from Chicago? You in Chicago, Keno? If you don't mind telling me, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Okay,
born and raised,
okay, cool. All right, go ahead.
So the Shot Spotter technology went off, and normally when Shot Spotter goes off, cops are literally in that area in I would say no later than 90 seconds, right? Doesn't matter. They boom, 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 boom. As soon as it goes off. So with this cop, right? They hear it going off. They actually didn't know that he was the one that was shooting. They just see him running.
So let me tell you something. Let me jump in. My fault, Keno. Let me jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
I was faced with a similar situation like this, right?
Okay.
And the only reason why I did not fire my weapon, and I'm gonna be honest with you, is because I second guessed myself, not wanting to be the next breaking news. And let's keep it a buck. The young man was 26 years old, never charged with a weapons charge. He had a Glock with a 30-round clip, okay, with optics. What the fuck are you doing with a weapon like that with no license? That's beside the point, whatever. He drops it and jumps the fence. The only reason why I didn't take action as such is because the only thing in my mind is I'd rather my life go and my life be taken away than be the next example and have my fellow officers deal with the bullshit. Okay? This is no, hold on a second. This is what we dealt with right now with what the cards we dealt with. If you act within the regulations or within the law, you're wrong. Okay, and I'm not saying all police shoots are within the law. Obviously, they're not. Let's keep it a buck. Okay, but I took a second step back because at the end of the day, I'm like, that's a young man. Okay, he's got lost, he's wayward, whatever the case may be. So I second guess that. That's number one. Number two, like you said, we are very well trained. Not all police departments are trained. If I put you through an academy for 4 months and I hand you a gun and a badge, that's not very well trained. I went through almost an 8-month academy, okay? Yeah. And I was given a badge and a gun. I have 15 years in the profession. I did 7 years as a CO and 7 years as a police officer and 1 year as a federal police officer in DC. So I got 15 years, okay? A lot of people get complacent on this job. They don't train themselves. They don't get themselves acclimated to the evolution of how policing and dealing with the community is. And I think that's the disconnect.
I think
that's the problem.
Not to cut you off, bro, but there's a.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And I'm speaking from a person who spent time in the military. I was in the infantry for 10 years. I just got out in 2018, 2 tours, one to Iraq, one to Afghanistan.
By the way, and simply just let you know, and Andrew, I see you in there. I'm gonna get you in. I can only have 6 at max. Stay right there. The cop was also a veteran as well.
Yeah. So this is the two difference. Just to touch on what you were talking about, there's a difference between training and experience. Because a lot of guys will, let's just say for me, as an infantryman, I could be in the infantry for 10 years and maybe deployed 1 time. And then of that time, I never had any experience or hand-to-hand combat. I never fired my weapon. I never so experience will give you a little bit more what we call the ability to discern whether or not it's a shoot, no shoot situation. And I'm going to tell you from experience, there is no perfect yes, no. There's like, you can weigh, anytime you pull the trigger, there's always opportunities to not, or to use a lesser extent.
Yeah.
All right. So from that aspect, but from when I'm looking at the cops, that's a hard call. That's, and no
This
matter
specific
what
one, you talking about this one we just showed you, Simp?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a hard,
Yeah.
that's a very difficult call to make. Like, and he has to protect himself. So never mind the fact of the race issue, because you can see that the media is it goes in waves, and then it'll make national news based on what the media, how they do it. And I don't know how or why they do the things they do, but just the way, I mean, people get shot every day. Cops shoot kids and adults every day, and cops get shot every day, every single day. And I don't think us as people on the outside, we don't realize how much this is happening. And what the media decides to put up is they're picking, right, from a list of thousands of shootings a day, thousands, and they pick and choose. Not to say that it's any less or any more significant. It's sad that our kids are being killed that way, absolutely. But at the same time, the cop is trying to preserve the peace. He's trying to make a judgment call so he can go home to see his family at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And that's not an easy job. Just like the lady that just shot that kid that was trying to get in his car, who had already knocked down a lady and robbed a lady at gunpoint. She probably knew that if they're serving an arrest warrant and they're doing a pullover, they had that information available to them. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna know that when you're pulling over the driver, you're gonna know.
Salutes to freedom of praise, because and what you just said too, simply OG. The cop, when he ran out that car, I don't think he knew that kid's race or that kid's age. All he knew was somebody was shooting. That kid's not like shorts. I mean, he was like kind of like probably 5 something. They can't shoot.
That cop knew the area, right? The cop knew the area because
he probably knew the area. Yeah.
The most segregated areas in the United States. The cop knew the area. So he knew, chances are, 99.9% of the time, he's going to be some Latin kid.
So he's going to have his antennas up. He's going to have the antennas up. But at the same time, it's like he knows at the same time, he can't just be out there shooting kids down. Like, so the position of authority doesn't, first point is, just because he's in the neighborhood and he was a veteran doesn't mean he's had experiences to prepare him for that. Just like Rick said. He may have had 15 years, but he may have 0 experience in that type of situation. We don't know that. But at the same time, the split-second decision between gun, no gun, shoot, don't shoot, good shoot, bad shoot is not easy. I mean, and I would say from looking at that and having my experience that it wasn't a good shoot, but it was a shoot that potentially saved his life. It's unfortunate that the kid had to lose his life, but in that scenario, it's a matter of life and death on both sides. It's a matter of life or death. So you have to say, now, only God is in the details. He's in the details. Only God knows what was in that officer's heart, and only God knows what was in that kid's heart and what he did and all the circumstances that came up to that. But at the end of the day, I agree with what Rick is saying. What are we training our kids? What kind of circumstances led up to that? Like, the kid is 13 years old. I got a 10-year-old. So in 3 years, you mean to tell me my kid in 3 years, he's going to go from playing Fortnite to having a gun in his hand? Like, what environments are we creating for our kids out here? And that's why, Tony, I'm a man of faith, and I teach and I preach kids to learn what it says in the Word of God, because it's so important to instill in our kids the importance of salvation. Because at that moment, he's a grown man. He may not be a grown man in age, but he's grown man in action. And he's responsible. He's responsible. In the name of Jesus, we need to pray for our country. For real.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'll say this too, though. Mr. Say one more thing too. This someone said, like, why not pull up and talk to these communities, talk to these people in the communities. You just heard what Keno said. I don't think you're gonna be able to pull up in a little village talking as a cop. Is that true?
Hell no, you're not.
Okay. Okay, go
Again,
ahead.
Hold on. Maybe in certain areas, but I
Certain
do
areas,
that
yeah.
all the time. And let me tell you something. During the day, I wear plain clothes, and I talk to the brothers all the time. I let them know all the time. I'm like, listen, you need to understand something. It's our responsibility to ensure that we enrich our communities. It's our responsibility. That's ours. That whole building a base based upon a village, that's us. It starts with us.
again,
Okay?
great. Okay, great. I hear what you're saying,
What kind
but
of cop
Mhm.
are you?
Chicago is a whole different type of animal, man. Again, you can pull up. You go, oh, I'm a good cop. You pull up in Little Village, Humble Park, and again, you're not on anything. You can be black. They shooting you, killing you, trying to kill you. So this is why I say that the black community, South Side, West Side, will not be riding in this little dude's name. It was not gonna happen.
Tone, what's good, man?
I got a couple of things on my mind. You know, I'm in New York City. I'm in Brooklyn. So,
Yeah.
one thing I want to ask that cop right there: what kind of cop are you? Because
Rick.
you got 2 or 3 different officers. You
Okay,
understand? What kind of
hold on. What kind of cop am I? Okay, so in retrospect, what is your definition of a cop? Okay, because by you asking me that question, that's saying that you have several definitions of a cop. So I want you to tell me, and then I will tell you.
me growing up, right? I was born 74. Me growing up, the police that 73rd precinct around my area, it's like one of the baddest precinct ever in history. And I remember as a kid, cops coming up, even to where we used to hang out in groups, and I'm talking about kids, 6, 7, 8 years old, introducing themselves, looking out, bringing donuts, bringing this, whatever it was, for that cop to be known to the neighborhood that he's policing. You understand what I'm saying? Getting to know the community in a different format. You understand what I'm saying? Getting to know the individual, getting to know the neighborhood you're patrolling. You understand? And these cops don't do that these days. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is different. Me growing up, I looked at the police officer different. Now, when it got to the 89, 90, 91, it turned around differently. You understand what I'm saying? Crime's a little higher, neighborhood's changing, everything is changing. So the cop is changing with the neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? He's not no longer nice no more. Everything is aggressive.
Can I ask
You
one
understand
thing?
what I'm saying? That's why I asked you, what kind of cop are you?
But Tone, let me ask you something. Hold on. Rick, let me ask Tone one thing about this, and you can. My only thing with that, because I feel you on that, but Tone, how much do you think your age part plays in that too? Because
that's what I said. I was
as
born in 74.
no, but not like the time period, our age. When we're walking up to a cop as an 8-year-old, they're gonna be all nice to us. We walk up to us, I'm a 15-year-old. Oh, that little motherfucker hoodlum now.
No, wait. When I say that, it's to say this. The cop been patrolling my neighborhood for 10 to 15 years. I know that officer.
Okay.
I communicated with that officer. I know how that officer treated me and always been treating me as the years go on, because they just don't go being in one precinct for 2 years and then go to another precinct. You stay in that precinct. You
Okay.
understand what I'm
So does
saying?
that same cop treat you different, or that same cop doesn't treat you different?
No, the same cop to this day, he's gonna retire, treats me the same exact way.
Oh, the new cops is the ones that.
The new cops are coming in to the neighborhood. They don't know the neighborhood. Everybody's a perp to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something that they got to take
Listen,
out their time. Everybody's not a perp.
Tone,
Everybody's not a thug. People go to work. Yeah,
bro,
we might dress the same, we
bro,
might look the same, but everybody's not
bro.
a perp. And that's the same thing that I've been telling these cops. Like, I talk to them, and I tell them, you can't be mean grilling these kids and can't be treating these kids like that, because these kids are just kids and they don't know. But if you communicate with them and interact with them, believe me, you get to know your neighborhood. Get to know your neighborhood. You understand? Get to know who's who.
Papa, you're exactly correct. Okay?
It's a
You
fact.
are right. You hit it. That's the problem.
So that's why I asked you what kind of cop you are.
Bro, I grew up in the hood. I'm from the hood. I'm all
I'm
about.
listening to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting you.
Yo,
You understand what I
bro,
feel, right?
this is you're exactly right. Not enough of us who are from the neighborhood, who have been enriched with that old school mentality, is patrolling the neighborhoods. You are exactly right. But I'm only a regular officer. I don't hold a gold badge, so I can only do within my realm what I can do. If I can reach one, that's enriching to me.
That's good enough. What I'm saying to you is, you know, for these police officers to come in, don't treat everybody like a perp. That's what I'm trying to say. Like everybody's not it's not into crime.
So Tone, let me be devil's advocate here. I hate to say it, but I'm just gonna be devil's advocate because there's truth to what I'm saying. When I was 13, Tone, I like to play GTA and fucking PS5 and I mean that's a PS5, PS2 and Xbox and Pokemon cards and all that bullshit, right? For cops, there's nothing there to it. These kids nowadays at 13 years old, they shooting motherfuckers now.
But you know why, right? It's the environment.
Yeah.
So if you can't go in there and try to change, like let's say I got a team of 20 officers, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. We have that meeting in the morning before we go out to patrol. Why is it that they can't like talk amongst themselves? Fuck the sergeant giving out orders or whatever, but talk among yourself. Try to make a change when you're patrolling your neighborhood. Get to know your neighborhood. You're gonna know by speaking to people who's the criminal and who's not, because you can see it by the way they talk and the way the attitude. You're gonna be able to determine the difference. You understand what I'm saying?
The delivery,
the delivery. Interacting with anybody and just looking at everybody as a perp. That's what the problem begins.
The delivery.
Tone, not to interrupt you, Tony.
No, you good.
Tone, you know what I did the other day? Not even a week ago. I was doing a baby shower, not a baby shower, gender reveal for one of my friend's daughters, right? And she wanted to find out what the child was through a motorcycle burnout. Now I know my city is not the only city that deals with all these kids running around with the dirt bikes doing all the crazy shit, right?
Facts.
I had a couple of the brothers. I said, listen, I will invest in you. Come, get your team together. I will invest in you. I will try to get you sponsors, Red Bull, Rockstar, whatever. Let's wipe the fucking circuit off with these dudes, cause y'all talented. Y'all know what y'all about. I put that. I'm waiting for somebody to come to me because you know what? We got the talent, but instead of putting it and putting money in these kids' pockets, they're out here. Some of them, I had to go to 2 cars where they died doing these tricks with these cars. And I said to him, I said, come with me. I will invest in you. Get your team. I will invest in you. Let's do this. That's the type of policing we need, and that's what we're missing.
Salute you, my brother, for real. I salute you, man. I get you, man. Believe me. What city you from, though?
I'm from Boston, baby. Boston.
All right. Salute, my brother. Salute.
Yo, Andrew, what's good, man? I know you've been waiting a little bit. Let me take you off the mute real quick. I don't know, I might have muted. Andrew, you there?
Yeah.
Good, brother.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro? Thank you for pulling up.
So I think another thing too that a lot of people, and I mean I guess it gets thrown out there a little bit, but Chicago's one of those cities, and I'm not from there. I'm from California, but the state of Chicago the last decade has really been trigger happy. You know what I mean? And so 2 a.m. I can see how a cop's senses are heightened. I mean, there's a reason they put them cameras up too. So, being a brown kid from California, I was harassed all the time growing up. And that kid knew what he was getting himself into. Running around, carrying a gun, popping shots off at midnight, 1 in the morning. I mean, you have to understand the territory that you're running in. And it doesn't help when a city like that is, it's got cops that are out there supposed to shut that shit down as quick as they can. That's why they have them cameras, and a split-second decision, it could have been the cop going home in a body bag. You know what I mean?
That was a shot spotter, by the way. It was on camera. Shot spotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where, I mean, it's such a split-second decision. It's hard to be too aggressive one way or the other, especially like I said in a city like Chicago. I mean, it the death rate there is so high. I grew up in Bakersfield out here in California, and right now they're one of the top cities in the nation with police involved shootings and killings amongst colored people. And I grew up with that shit. I grew up with cousins and stuff running with the shits, and and you see it, and like Tone said, there were cops that were out there policing in the neighborhood and trying to be, kick it with the little kids and try to, at the same time keep an eye out, make sure shit wasn't going south. But I mean, with a city that's so rampant with crime and gun crime specifically, I can see how the police rolled around my neighborhood always thinking shit might pop off, and so, I mean, there's got to be a little bit of slack for the police officer in that regard,
You know what's sad?
I'm
just gonna say one thing. It's really quick. The thing that's so sad about this, man, and people can sit here and deny it. At least for me, I'll tell you the truth, and I know about 90% of the kids out there. Everybody has grown up wanting to be a cop as a kid, and it's like now it's like you get people getting killed by their own, I guess, hero or what they wanted to be. Like everybody wanted to be a cop, bro. Like everybody wanted that. Like that was
or military.
Yeah, like it's always.
And that's the other thing too is like I grew up with. I mean, in my family specifically, almost everybody, all of my uncles, my dad even were prior service. So that's what pushed me growing up. Like, damn, I mean, the Martinez family for me, it means carrying the weight of the nation on your last name. And I mean, that's why I joined. That's why I did my little bit of service. But at the same time, being brown in California, there were times that I would get pulled over in uniform and get harassed. And that shit ain't right, but
it's definitely I just want to clear on one thing, Tony.
Yes, sir.
The angle, see the kid running, the angle that the police is in, it's a bad angle for him. Me, if I was chasing somebody, I would have gave him a little bit of more leeway because I don't know, because he's up on them. You understand what I'm saying? And that is a hard decision right there when you up on him, not knowing what he's gonna turn around with. You understand what I'm saying? So I think we gave him a little bit more leeway, and we gave him a chance to turn around with his hands up. You know what I'm saying? But you're chasing somebody with a gun. In his mind, the cop's mind, he has a gun already.
But Tone, you saw when he
say, drop it.
But you saw when that split second they showed him with the gun.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's like
a hardcore. It's a hardcore for the cop. He's turning around on the split second. He got to make that decision.
He does like this. He does like this.
I don't know if he's turning around to shoot me.
Yeah, he does this right here.
Right.
He does this.
And then turn around.
When he turns around, it's like this.
That's a
magic.
Y'all make a valid point.
That's just crazy, bro.
That's the thing. It's like, yes.
The angle put the officer in a bad position.
Okay, yeah, the officer been in a bad position, but this is the thing about it, right? Especially when I can't speak for any other cities, but I can tell you right here in Chicago, right? If that kid was gonna shoot, that kid would have been running down the alley, shooting behind him.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly.
The kid was only the purse, right? He was with the 21-year-old, and if something went down, the kid was to hold the gun. You think about it, right? The kid, 13, juvie. He gets locked up, he'll be out.
He'll come home.
Absolutely.
I believe that big nigga was shooting.
But listen. We can Monday morning quarterback all we want. At the end of the day, we don't know. Okay? Put yourself in that shoe. We don't know. So we can't speak on that. Okay? And it's not to protect the child, it's not to protect the cop. It's to protect the fact that of the unknown. We don't know. I watched a coworker of mine get shot in the face being complacent. Okay? And not, okay, all right, we cool. Boom! In his face. Thank God he's still alive and he's here for his kids.
Chat.
But do you see
guys,
that? Do you see that angle I'm talking about?
So yeah. That's all I had to say.
I see it.
Hold on. I'm gonna show it to the chat. Everybody in the chat right now because they're asking about the gun. So hold on 1 second, Tone. Don't say that. I'm just gonna play it for them. Here it goes, chat. You going?
Please stop! Stop right now!
We ain't seeing it.
Show me your f***ing head.
Yeah, they see it though.
Right.
They see it.
All right.
So it's a firearm right
Stop
there.
it.
Drop it. He says drop it.
He said drop it.
And then boom.
Look at that angle. Look how close he's to him. Look at that angle, Tone.
Stop it! Stop it!
Damn, man.
If that kid was gonna shoot,
Yo, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing that would have kept me from firing upon that young man is I would have second guessed myself. And I've done that on the job. And by the grace of God, I've been able to go home to my sons. Okay? I have second guessed myself because of the fact that I don't want to be the next big thing.
Let me
But one day I ain't gonna be here. Reality. I'm not gonna be here because I second guessed myself. I'm just putting it out there.
So let me ask y'all
No, but let me tell you something. I know people. I know officers that been on the job 27 years, 30 years, and never used their firearm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, Tone. It's a different environment. It's a different. The millennials, they don't think like that. They're different. So all I'm saying is that when you grew up, I'm 81. I'm close to you. I'm Generation X. Okay, where we respect the cops, where we let cops go because we had that respect. That's not here anymore. Cops ain't shit. Cops ain't shit. We ain't shit.
You could be a CO and a regular cop pull you over. He's gonna treat you like a perk. No matter if you're a CO.
Exactly. These new dudes. Let me tell you something. It's crazy. As a police officer, I've gotten pulled over.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes. And then when they could turn around, I was like, dude, I work with you. Oh, you're all set. But if I didn't work with him, I'm walking the look at me. Naughty by nature, hug you. Naughty by nature, look at me. I'm a hood dude. I've always been a hood dude. And they don't give me that. But you know why they don't give me that? Because of this.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. I'm this before I'm this. Don't get it twisted.
Salute you, man.
And so another little thing I wanted to kind of throw out there real quick. And it's kind of been a hot topic here and there the last couple of years is this whole thing with police reform and defunding the police. I think that you can't make a decision like that. You can't kind of go out there and throw that out and judge all cops the same like that.
No, so hold on, real quick, okay? So just saying the term defund the police, a lot of people don't understand what it means. It's not saying strip the police of all of their funding. It's saying allocate a portion of that police yearly budget towards some community, engagement,
or to retrain them. Some of them,
So that was the conversation
we had at my work today. Strip the police of their funding. No, it's not saying that.
Yeah, so that was the conversation we had at my work today, and I work in a warehouse, and we kind of talk about everything, but we were bringing up the idea that maybe they need more training. I mean, the average cop now probably doesn't see a whole 30 days of training a year.
Let me tell you something though, man. No matter how much training you give a police officer, no matter how much training you give him, it's not the same when he's on that beat. Everything. You understand what I'm saying?
And there has to be some kind of retention too, because a lot of times you catch a lot of the older police lacking too. I mean, they kind of get wild west on shit.
I wanted to ask the officer a question because he's in there, so he know either the 20-year goal training is different from the 20 years now, because it's got to be something in there. Are they teaching the officers the same exact thing they teaching 20 years ago?
No, they're not. Okay. The training has evolved. Let's get something straight right now. I want to tell you that right now. My department is the first in the nation. Okay? Boston is the first in the nation. So what does that mean? Everybody has taken. Let me speak on this. Let me take this off. Okay? I may get in trouble for this, but I don't care. I want to educate everybody because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Boston is the first in the nation. Okay, everyone has taken from our training, has asked and has consulted from us, and has taken and they've taken their own variation of everything, and that's the problem. If I think if it was uniformed across the board, I went to an academy for 7 months, battle tested, okay, and we have not had a bad shoot since the 1970s.
Wow.
That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. That means
That
that there's
speaks
a
volumes.
disconnect. There's a problem.
The problem, right?
Why you gonna give somebody a badge and a gun and train them for 4 months? That's a problem.
The
I
problem.
did 7 months. So how is 3 months a different? Big difference. You know why?
Big difference.
I'm still on the job. We don't have all this bullshit. The only reason why we're dealing with this, the sediment of the climate of the negativity towards cops is because of Minneapolis, LA. Remember, I was there when Rodney King. I was there. I went through all that. That was my shit.
Right.
But we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Snapchat. Now we have all this shit, right? So what does that mean? Everyone's gonna know it quicker than anything.
There's more
And then
eyes.
exactly, and it's left to be scrutinized amongst the people.
I think
When
I
we
was
were
talking to a cop, right? You know what? And it's my cousin. You understand what I'm saying?
Hold on.
So I was telling him
Hold on,
when you
Keno.
come,
Go ahead,
I was
Tom.
telling him when you come out your house, right? I'm gonna give it to you too. When you come out your house, just expect and know that there's not just 2 eyes, 4 eyes. There's 100 eyes watching. You understand what I'm saying?
Tone. Let me tell you this, okay? I was married. You know, I'm in the middle of divorce. Whatever. Fuck it. I was married to my wife. We bought a crib in the middle of the hood because you know why? I'm comfortable amongst my people. I'm not worried about it, right?
Facts.
I put a hoodie on and I'm jogging. The same motherfuckers I work for. Why the fuck you slowing up on me?
Wow.
I took my hoodie off. I'm like, oh, okay, you're good. Come on. Like, really? I'm a man before I'm a cop. Let's don't get it twisted.
That's a fact.
Listen. I feel the pain. I feel the sorrow. But at the end of the day, we have more cops that are good than are bad. We just got to weed them out. Don't fault me for being me and working and doing for you and myself because of somebody else's fuck up. That's all I'm saying.
Now I'm gonna flip that, Tony. Hold on a second. I'm gonna flip that. So now let me ask you a question. Them dudes that's hanging out in the corners and all that, 9 times out of 10, they got drama or whatever, they're happy police is around. You understand what I'm telling you? 9 times out of 10, if there's a cop, they're gonna be feeling safe. They could talk all the thug and know I'm a killer and all, but 9 times out of 10, they see a cop on the block, they know they at least not gonna be no shooting this day here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's good and it's bad. You understand what I'm saying? But it's more good. It's more good than bad, I believe.
So let me say this real quick, and I want Keno to go after me after this. But I keep seeing y'all in the chat talking about let's do what Europe do. I don't know if you guys are in Europe or in the US, but it's a little hard to have cops with no guns going to policing areas where motherfuckers got guns. Cops are already being like, yo, you fucking pig already. So
yeah, you're outnumbered.
So if they going in there with no guns, they finna get their ass taught. You might want to even call them police. That's not even the police. I'm not saying they need to have fucking bazookas, but the streets, there's more guns on the streets than in the police department. Let's put it that way.
I also see dude in the chat, William, popping off about this Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I mean, that's a whole different situation. And I don't agree with that one either.
Yeah.
You know, that kid crossed state lines underage with an assault rifle. That's a whole different talk.
Well, Andrew, let's be honest though. Also, Andrew, the reason why that doesn't get publicity because he didn't kill a black person. If he would have killed a black person, it would have been fucking.
Yeah.
It would have
but I mean,
insane.
He should. I mean, definitely got a totally different outcome than what he got. You can tell by who embraced him when he got off, what kind of crowd he's running with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, guy.
But at the same time, I mean, you can't. I don't know how you compare the two. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like I said. I don't agree with the Kyle one either. William in the chat seems to think that if you make a decision on one police shooting, it kind of goes for everyone, and every one of them's different. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, every one of them thing is different. I wanted to ask the cop one more question.
All right, go ahead.
What's your name? I'm gonna call you a police officer.
Keno, did you have any specific, or were you going to take the question? Were you going to take this in another direction? Because if you were, we'll wait to after.
Yeah. I want to keep it in the subject.
So I just want to just bring up two points real quick, right? So the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, that's not comparable to what happened in Chicago. So those are two separate incidents that's different. But with Rick, I want to ask him in terms of, he's saying that the Boston PD, they're number one in the nation for their training. But how many cases are actually active going against police officers because of, police shootings and the corruption? Because there's I think 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was a huge corruption case that happened in the Boston PD.
Yeah, you're right. So here's the thing. When it comes to that, I can't speak on that because that was before my time. And I know everyone's seen the trial for. Listen, I got on the job in 2015. You're talking about something that happened 1993, 1992, when I was like in middle school. So I can't speak on that. I can only speak on my experience and me working and what I've done. And in my time as a police officer on that department, because let's not get it twisted. At the end of the day, Netflix is there to make money. Okay, they're there to create a narrative to attract you guys. So I'm not saying that there wasn't any. Yeah, exactly.
So hold on.
Exactly.
Let me get some respect.
You're right.
Let me get some respect to my man Channel Chill Town in the motherfucking building.
Gassed up, shawty. Said I need my 40.
Salute to motherfucking Channel Chill Town in the building. Hey, Chill Town, I just subbed to this channel. I thought I was subbed to, I guess it's a new channel. I just subbed to it. Salute to Tony D, Channel Chill Town. Salute to you. Stop by to show some Showtime. Channel Chill Town in the building. We sipping on that motherfucking delirium right now. You know what I'm saying? Salutes. You already know we on that kegger life. And salutes, man, to Chill Town in the building for that donut, man.
Chill Town.
The donut's
I got a question.
The donut's a little empty today. I'm kind of hurt, but it's all good. Hit that like button. Hit that like. We got 233. Hit that motherfucking like button for me, for real. I just need that. Go ahead, Tom.
Yo, I just wanted to ask you. You said you was you for the people and everything. Now I got a question. If you see a bad officer doing something,
yo, let's stop that right now. Listen, me off duty. If I was there,
no.
Yo, I'm stopping it. I'm stopping it.
No, I'm saying in general. Let's say you're in the call, but you see the officer beating the shit out the dude. Are you the one to step in and say, "Yo, what the hell you doing? That's too much."
Bro. So I'm gonna rewind it to what I was saying. Not to disrespect. If I was there as a civilian, knowing that I was a police officer, okay, I would have yanked that motherfucker off that dude's neck, and I would have had a union behind me to protect me, okay? And if they want to take my badge away from me because I'm doing the right thing, then so fucking be it. Let's put it like that.
Yo, salute to you, my brother. Yo, for real,
Real
man.
talk,
like
real
that,
talk.
Man, for real.
Right is right and wrong is wrong. That was fucking wrong, and I don't stand by that, okay? I'm here for the people. And I'm here to protect the people, including my children, my family, and all y'all.
You, man.
Okay? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If people can't respect that, okay, then I'm in the wrong profession, because at the end of the day, I'm here for you. I'm not here for me. It was a calling to do this job, okay? And I'm gonna do it right until my last day on this motherfucking earth, okay? Period.
Salute to you, man. Yo, salute to you, man. My cousin.
Because I got two sons. I got 2 sons, 7 and 2. Okay, and I'll be damned if they're gonna be treated like a motherfucking target.
That's fact.
Real talk.
I like your answer. That was real.
Real talk.
You know what got me? You know what got me? That they just stand around. Not to get off topic, but they just stand around and. For all those minutes, watch that man do that, and nobody even. I couldn't be the one standing there recording it. I'm gonna get in. You understand?
Bro.
You want recording that?
Bro, not for nothing, and they don't talk about it. So he didn't like dude from the beginning because he was a bouncer at a club, and that dude used to work at a club doing details, right?
Oh, and I used to do that.
So there's background story behind it. So there was a rumor that he was messing with dude's wife. So that shit was not only racial, but it was personal.
Yeah.
Let's put it out there. Let's talk what it is. Let's talk what it is.
Yeah. I heard that same thing too.
Hold on.
Though.
First thing first, I want to give a huge shout out to the 2 new members in the building, Kelly Kells and this bitch. Salute to Kelly Kells. And salute to Mulholland Kai in the motherfucking building, man. Salute to all the new members there.
Tony, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Tony, in that split second, on that angle where the cop was at, can you really determine, like, I think he was up too close, or what was your thought behind that? Did he go up too close to him, or you would have gave him a little more
from
before? You know what I'm saying?
So let's put it this way, right? This whole time I've been talking about what the kid's been doing wrong, right?
Right.
I tell you this.
Alexa, all lights on.
I tell you this from the cop's perspective now, and the fucked up situation here was fucked up.
Right.
There's nothing that kid could have did at that moment that would have saved his life.
No, you're right. You're right. Because you don't know where he's going. You don't know if he's going up, left, right. You don't know.
The best he could have did was just, like I told you, fall in the middle of the street.
I think drop to the ground.
Just drop.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Drop, bam. That's
you're
it.
right.
That was it. That whole stopping by the gate, and there was nothing he couldn't have did nothing else. He couldn't. His life was done at that point. It was it.
I think I would have dropped to the ground.
I probably would have
dropped to the ground.
I would have just fucking fell. I would have hurt my.
Knowing that he's saying drop it, I already know he know I gotta go.
I mean, too. You gotta remember when they're yelling freeze, you're supposed to just freeze.
I'm not worried about concealing a gun at this point, getting chased by a cop with a gun. I know in my head these motherfuckers want to kill me already, or I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fall. I'm gonna fuck my whole face up. I don't give a fuck if I lose my teeth. I'm just blow like that.
Yep.
Fucking spread out eagle.
Tony said it best.
Spread eagle. Like, I'm not by the wrist trying to pull it out and say it's here. It's here. None of that. I'm just gonna fall. Bam.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I think, man. I think that's
you know,
because let's put it like this: if he drops to the ground and he's fired upon, now we got a case. We got a case.
Wait, no. This guy said Trey said no. He could have said okay. I'm stopping and that motherfucking cop ain't listening to all that. Okay. I'm stopping. I'm throwing the gun. Hold on, guys. I'm throwing it. Like no, you're not doing all that shit.
No.
Fuck that. You better if you thinking about throwing the gun, bro. Like I said,
he could have threw it while he was running.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
At the end of the day, when that kid stopped to throw that gun and he turned around and surrendered, right? Let's say he didn't get shot. Cuffs are banned, right? What do you think the cop's doing next? Looking around the corner?
You're gonna search
for the gun. So you getting that charge regardless. That was a split second decision that fucked the kid up right there. Like that was his brain. You know, the cop was rushing and shot. That kid was running and his brain wasn't working correctly. That he thought he could throw the gun. Yeah, you said you should have threw that gun. My question is my question here, right? Because you said it. I think Tone, you might have mentioned it, or maybe Rick. I think it was Tone though. Someone or even the chat said the kid didn't shoot, but the guy gave the gun after he shot to the kid.
Oh, I was thinking the taller kid must have shot and gave the little dude a gun.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Because he's younger. Yeah,
because he's younger.
Absolutely, he was the purse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's younger. He'll get off.
Respect for the conversation. I'm jumping out. I'll listen via the chat.
We still, Keno, we still whitewashed? Or am I getting a little bit blacker now?
No, you take it off.
You're not as light skinned no more, man.
Okay.
They Tony Puerto Rican,
man. All right, Keno, appreciate it, man. But nah.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna hop out. I'm off the panel too.
I appreciate it,
Shout
Andrew.
out to the panel. Shout out to the chat.
Thank you for coming through.
Salute, my brother.
Tell Rena we still waiting on her introduction, man. I love that. Salute to Andrew, right. Sample Team 6. You see that logo right there, man. That's that Twitch shit right there, man. But nah.
All right then.
Yep. Salutes. So my question.
Quick second.
My question is though to Tony that too, right? If the guy gives you the gun and then you start running, why not throw the gun way before you even get caught by the police?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why not hide the gun? These are things.
Or drop it. Drop it while running.
I can't.
You could drop it while you're running.
Exactly.
It's a fact. You could do that. Then they gotta prove the case to where he say he dropped it, blah 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 blah. You know,
Yep.
regardless of
Then
what.
then we be having a whole different discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
But I just think that even when he stopped, I think it was that split of a second. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
that's a hard call, man. It's a hard
Hard
call.
is very hard. When we gotta be 100 with that
I'm
because
gonna be 100 with it because if I already know you got a gun and I'm a cop, I'm chasing a guy with a gun. I don't know if he's a kid. I don't know none of these things. I'm chasing someone. It's kind of hard in that split second to turn around. I don't know if he got it in his hand or not.
I'll tell you the only thing. Remember I said earlier that there was nothing that the kid could have did. This is what the kid could have did. He had the gun like this, and he said, "Drop it," right?
Right.
Instead of doing this, he should have just dropped it. Like literally, just dropped it. Like dropped it right there on the ground. Just drop it
right where the officer see it.
Yeah, like that. That would have been it. Because then the hands go up, you know. But the fact that you did a little swoop and he couldn't see what happened after, and then your hands are up, that's a magic trick. That's a magic trick.
All he had to do was drop it. He didn't have to do any motions.
Yeah,
drop it and we good.
Yep.
Because remember, dropping doesn't require any left, right, up, down motion. It just let go. That's it.
Instead, he swung it and it came back, spun around with the hand. Like, it's too much, man. It's too much. It's too much.
How much a millimeter seconds fast that?
800 milliseconds.
Listen, I watch one of my coworkers on video get shot in the face doing the same shit we're talking about. Come on now. I've dealt with it, so I know.
Yeah,
by the grace of God, he's still alive.
I'm
just saying.
I'm not here to continue to slander, whatever you want to call it.
No, we're not slandering anything.
Yeah, I just don't like
not at all.
I just don't like you putting it on it. But at the end of the day, if the kid wouldn't have dropped it and shot the cop and the cop would have died, the story would have never been heard.
Exactly.
It would never.
My question is too is like
facts.
I got 4 kids. None of my kids is gonna be out at 2 a.m, especially if you're 13 or 14 or 15 or 16 or 17. You're not gonna be in the street at 2 a.m. I'm not gonna allow that.
Yeah,
and I'm talking real shit. My kids, the way my mother chased behind me. You understand what I'm saying? My mother raised 6 by herself. You understand what I'm saying? She chased us down to make sure that we was in running these fucking streets in Brownsville, Brooklyn.
No, they had some culture, which is different.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, and this is my thoughts. As a parent, look after your kid. Make sure you know where your kids are at. You understand what I'm saying? Because I make sure where my kids are at.
And Tone, how old is your kids?
Well, now they're 19 to 15.
Okay.
19,
when you told
17, 16, and 15.
Okay, because when you told me your age, you're younger than my mom. So like my mom is like your age pretty much. So I know you got some older kids. So
yeah,
I think everybody's kids, brothers, they need to see this shit. Because this is what happens, bro.
You gotta know where your kids are at. You understand what I'm saying? At 13 years old, I'm not putting you in the 7, 8 o'clock when that light going down, your ass is in the house. You're not going outside in the nighttime, bro. You're not. I'm not letting that because I know what can happen. 2 things can happen. You go to jail or you die. One of those 2. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you let your 13-year-old, 14, 15, or 16-year-old kid outside at a certain time, a lot of things can go bad, especially if you don't got that eye on them. So you gotta watch your kids, bro.
Nifty, I understand what you're saying, but the problem here is the hardest part with these situations is we get to present this in hindsight without any stress levels, without any adrenaline. We are actually being able to look at this with no pressure, no heart race pumping, no elevated blood pressure, no nothing. We can sit this in our calmness of our room and watch it as if it's a movie. In the heat of the moment, hands up type of things, those things are not going on right now. This guy is chasing someone that shots were fired and is armed. You're chasing that. In our life as citizens and civilians, we are trying to get away from that type of situation. We heard someone got a gun. We're not aggressive. We're moving away. Cops, they gotta charge in and protect.
They gotta charge in.
So
like firemen, burning building, they gotta run in.
Yeah, so it's That's a whole different, like, bro, I don't know what my body's gonna think. At the end of the day, think of it this way, right? Just think of it this way, guys. If you're in a movie theater with your fiance, your wife, or your husband, whoever, or your girlfriend, and a dude gets up and starts shooting in that motherfucker, and you jump out and you get out and you run to your car and you get to go home, guess what a cop has to do? He has to get inside.
He got to go in there.
He got to go in. So he's not thinking like you.
Nah.
That cop did not want to chase that kid that was armed, or he didn't even know he was a kid. That cop doesn't want to chase an armed person. He's in fear. That's what you sign up for. The same thing with like being a security guard. You being a security guard at Tekashi 6ix9ine, you think that like when shit pop off, you getting paid good money, but you know eventually something gonna pop off and you're gonna have to do something. That's a scary feeling to have on your chest constantly.
I did security, man. Believe you me. It's a totally different.
You're getting paid. You're getting paid to pretty much when the shots are fired to be in front. To be in front. To be to be a Marine almost. Like damn near almost take the bullet first. To be, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is. And that's scary, bro.
Even when I'm doing, I don't want to say the names I'm doing security for when I used to do it, but a lot of producers and certain people, I did security for them, and it's the same thing. You gotta protect them, and if something happens, you're the first one. You're the first line of protection for the who you doing security for. So it's the same thing as the cop. I gotta go out there now. I gotta secure the neighborhood, make sure things is going the right way. And damn, he heard the shots. Now he's got to go that way and figure out what's going on. And then he see two dudes, one take off running. That's the one with the gun. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because that's why I would think. Hold on, he ain't running. The one that's running got the gun. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. And he don't. Yeah, it's a hard call. Listen, William, I get what you're saying that that's his job and he should be trained to control that. And don't tell him to put his hands up. What my main point here is, where does that line get drawn at, right? We're looking at it now as in he told him to put his hands up. He put his hands up and got shot. We're talking 800 milliseconds from the gun in his hand to his hands up. 800 milliseconds.
Tone, so that
every snap.
You just did, that's what it is. When you got up and turned around.
Let me show y'all.
Do it again.
Let me show y'all. This is what we're talking about, chat. Bam, gun here.
Right.
It's gone.
Boom.
Hands up. Like you gotta like.
That's hard.
That's hard to think. That's hard to.
Yo. Let me tell you something. You doing that over just reinforces the fact that man did the best that he can do within his limit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Like we're over guessing it. Like we get caught up in this media shit. Like let's not get it twisted. The media is there to sell a story. That's how they make their money. So for them, it's a sad story, but it's a money maker. Let's not get it twisted. There's corruption with the whole shit.
Let's make it a little bit easier so I can make the speed a little bit better to y'all, chat. This is more of a speed look to it, right? This is the gun, right?
Give it that speed look, Tom.
Because he said a millisecond, so this gotta be quick, pretty fucking fast, right? I don't know. I'm just gonna try to make it as best I can, chat. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Bam! There you go. There you go.
That's
the best. Like that's what we're work. That's what we're having to dictate. We got to make sure that is that going to be a hand up or is that going to be bow?
I don't know. I can't call it.
You know what's funny thing is your reenactment scares me just looking at it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you determine that? How can you make the fate right there of shooting or not shooting? You know what I'm saying? Because your mind playing games. Your adrenaline is running.
Hey, drop it.
Oh,
drop it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
drop it.
Bro,
different.
That's scary for me looking at that, and I'm a cop. No bullshit.
Yeah, so
that's scary.
Tone, that's hard, Tone.
That's what I'm saying. It is hard. It's hard.
Now that dropping one that you just did, I can see he might live on that one.
Yeah, because he sees it drop.
Yeah, he dropped it. Because the officer would have probably saw that shit too. Oh, he dropped it. Yeah.
It's not, and we're talking about that throw I'm doing, chat. We're not talking about open field. He threw it behind a fence, so the fence is blocking where the gun actually went.
The angle. Remember I was talking about the angle?
The officer doesn't see that gun going over there. That's a block. He can't see that, the angle, like you said. So,
But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you something. You know what's crazy? Even if he had said drop it, him turning around, if he didn't turn around and just dropped it, then we'd be having a different. We wouldn't even have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that.
So
we wouldn't.
Let me show the chat one more time. I'll show you guys too. But the thing is, when I do the share screen for y'all, it gets really weird. But I'm gonna try to show it to y'all.
I got.
Here it goes right here. All right, so I'm gonna share it. So here's the. Oh, I can hear y'all good now. So hold on. He's chasing. All right, there it goes.
There it goes.
Firearms right there. Look at his body posture. So it's behind his back. Well, actually, I think his left hand is up and his right hand is like, I think it's the right hand. He's trying to toss
that's
it.
the right hand.
He's trying to toss it. He got to figure out what to do right here. He got to figure out, like, drop it. It just should have went straight down, but it doesn't go straight down. He throws it. Here it goes. Oh, he throws it, puts the hand up. He has to make sure that this hand has nothing in it now. 800 milliseconds. What is this doing? And that's where it was too late. That's where it was too late. Like, that was it. That was what we do. And you can see right here on this screen, this is where the actual, you can see the kid actually throw the gun. Look how long it took him. He slowed down. He did the movements were all weird. It was like a lot of weird shit. Throws it. Bam. So, and it's a crazy angle, bro. It's crazy. It's scary.
I don't think the officer.
Yo, Tony, run that back one more time.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me fix my goddamn camera just died on me. Let me make sure my chat you see me. All right, I'm just gonna run it back while it's playing back. It's about to come in. The audio's gonna come in, chat. Oh, I thought it was audio. What the fuck? Y'all see that, right? Oh shit, my shit just goddamn died on me. All right, my bad. Yeah, my audio.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here, people? What are we doing here? We're losing our kids to nonsense. Come on, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so
there's and the thing is crazy. It's like the environment, you know what I'm saying, doesn't help either. You know, it's just too much.
Nifty,
too much going on, man.
Nifty, I understand. We can sit here and talk about that, Nifty. What we would have did a different way, and how we could have told it. But like in those moments, bro, I've been in a shootout before, and you know what I did? Took the fuck off, running. You know, I didn't have a gun on me. Run. Fear. Like, things happen. You will be surprised.
When that sound go off?
Yeah, you'll be surprised. You think you can do this and do that, and boy,
that's
they
all lies, bro.
Yeah,
the first thing you're gonna do is duck down. See where the shot's coming from. Like, that's everybody's hear a shot, go down.
It's so easy to say. Yeah, it's so easy to say what you would have did and how you would have did it, and I'm telling you, man, like
what you just did right now, you turned around, Tone. And this is not in full throttle. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you're doing, that's I don't know.
I don't think like the thing is with me when I see that, I'm not saying like good kill, good, yeah, great.
No.
I see where you leave room for that to happen. There's enough shit going on where the mistake is probable. That taser thing, like.
No, that taser, that's light. It got yellow.
The taser, that was completely wrong. That was negligent.
Exactly. That's negligent. You're fucking up. You don't need to be a cop.
You fucked up. You got 26 on the yard, and you don't know. First of all, she gotta press the front of it so that light could come out. First of all,
exactly.
So it can even disperse. You understand what I'm saying?
Alberto, there's no cap about the shootout, bro. I've been in. I almost lost potentially my life, not because I wouldn't have gotten shot, nor would I have been the person killing somebody, but I was with the person that would have killed somebody, and for that reasoning, I probably would have been locked up for that reason. And trust me, I ain't got nothing to cap about that.
I don't want to talk about that, but
Yeah.
I will never talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll just tell you this, bro.
Anything like that, but
I was in motherfucking woods running, and I ended up getting to an IHOP and had to get picked up at the IHOP. I had that bitch on camera. I was filming that day. It was horrible, bro. But yeah.
My personal opinion on that one, I don't think the officer had enough time to you know what I mean? Like that angle is bad angle. You know, he had the gun. Kind of hard on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but let's keep it a buck.
Because if he was gonna shoot him, he would have shot him while he was running because he already knew he had a gun.
Exactly.
So let's just take that equation out because he could have shot him. You understand what I'm saying? He's telling him to drop the gun. You understand what I'm saying?
I think the fact that
the other thing too is when he moved, it wasn't an overkill. It was one shot.
Right, it was one shot, and he's seen usually when the cop know that, let's just say he they put the cuffs right away on the dude. No, see what he tried to do to the kid. He tried to help him right away. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know. I don't think his intention was to kill the kid, though.
No. You never want to do that.
I think what messed him up the most out of every single thing, another thing, is the fact that he went to that opening of that gate. If he would have stopped like in the middle of the gate, like not going that little crevice he went to, that little area, and that was all that, man. Like,
it's so sad, man. You know,
he ain't never that police officer and that family will never be the same ever again. Ever, because he took a young man's life and the family lost a young man. Period.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's fucking sad.
It's a bad, unfortunate situation for that one, man. For real.
Yeah. And this is why I say we gotta educate our kids. Yeah. We gotta be I can't reinforce it enough. We gotta talk to our kids. We gotta be there for our kids because at the end of the day, we are our kids' savior. And that's the reality of it. So let's just reinforce that. Let's just put that out there because at the end of the day, I got 2 sons. Tone, I know you got kids.
Hell yeah.
Tony D, I don't know if you got kids. I know you about to have
Tony
kids.
D when he get them though.
I know he don't have kids because he about to marry his queen.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, 2D, you gotta, when you get them, just hover them because at the end of the day, no one's gonna do it for you. You got to do it for them.
Right.
Chicago Southside, what's good, bro? Good to see you.
How you doing now?
Good to see you come up here. I appreciate it, man. What's going on, man?
Salute, my brother.
What you got? What you got going on for us out there, man? Like I said, I know Chirac, Chicago's crazy. The shot PD scanners and all that. What's your perspective on this, man? From being out there.
I mean, one
thing I want to ask you, Chicago, and sorry to cut you off. I'm known for doing that, but how was PD in general in Chicago to you overall?
How was the police department?
Yeah,
it's a lot of known racism within CPD. It's a known fact, and the thing about it is, I know police officers that grew up on the east side, west side, and south side. They don't have them patrol the inner cities. They had them patrol up north, downtown. Now the people who never had interactions with African Americans, that's who patrol the inner city. So if you don't know, like people like somebody in the military or somebody who grew up in the inner city who know how to de-escalate a situation, they don't have them in the inner city. So you always gonna run in with the cops that never had interactions with black people. They always think everybody's a thug. They always think there's no good coming out the community, but you all look at us as criminals. And with the video, I was sitting down with my children watching it. And the moment that cop told him to stop and he ran, I was like, oh, he about to get shot. I'm just being blunt. They said, why you say that? Because he ran. Everybody in Chicago, when they tell you to stop and freeze, they mean it. Or you can forget about it. Just like, and I remember, I guess somebody had said, well, if he had to live, you wouldn't have heard about it. You would have heard of you was gonna hear about it because the mayor, she didn't want what happened to the last mayor with Laquan McDonald when it got swept up under the rug and nobody knew about it. See, they don't want that same drama. That's why the other administrator got out because we didn't know what happened. They just said it was a shooting, a kid was armed, and that was it. And then close to election time come, that's when everything started coming out. You're like, well, damn, The kid wasn't even a threat. He was walking around with a knife, but he was high as a kite. He didn't know what was going on, and dude shot him.
That was the.
He,
I remember. I think I remember that. Was he the autism or something? Was that one? Or the drugs? He was on drugs or something?
yeah. That was the one with drug because, and the thing about it was he was the only cop that fired the shot. He fired all 17 rounds.
Damn.
And he's the only one that shot him.
I felt it.
And so yeah, the police department they did not too long ago they did a recent study. It's racism. Everybody know that. The city is partly divided. You got the African Americans on the south side, west side, east side. You got the Hispanics in little village and back of the yards. You got half of the white folks up north. We one of the most segregated. It's 2021, and the city is still segregated. Everybody know that. Even if you come to town, like, no, you don't want to go over there. They be tripping or whatever. You can't even walk through little village over there. Oh, you GD, like, man, I'm just walking, trying to get to the bus stop. So now you gotta run.
Yeah,
that's one thing about Chicago. I know. I visit over there. You can't wear certain fucking hats and certain shit.
Nope.
No, hell no.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't play that.
No, I experienced it. Don't worry about it. I know.
Yeah, man. That's what, man. Look, I carry every day. I don't give a damn. I work with kids. I'm supposed to carry. I still carry because at the end of the day, I got 4 children, 8, 5, 3, and 2. I got to make sure I make it home to them every single day. Cause if that 13-year, trust and believe me, I know I've worked with kids that's known to shoot at police officer. If that kid wanted to shoot at that police officer, he would have shot at that police officer. The fact was that kid had panic. He didn't know what to do. So that let me know, oh, this must be his first time out in the streets or whatever, cause he panicked. And that's why he turned. He should have just stopped. But when you force like that, because there's been times where we was a kid, when the cop pulled up, we all break and ran, and nobody had nothing on, but we broke it. We just that's the normal reaction to run.
Yeah, but you see what the big kid did, right? He didn't run.
Nope.
Well, both should have ran. You understand what I'm saying? They give a chance to either one of them. Because I always say that to my friends. Nigga, no one stay. Everybody runs, so they don't know who to chase. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the thing now that they do. You'll have somebody that's just like this past a couple months ago. The carjacking was real big here. I mean, whatever car you was in, they didn't care who was in it, or it was a mother, a grandparent. They was jacking the car, and it was a fire chief. He just had retired. 1 day of retirement. They tried to carjack him. He shot him. They killed him. And the kids was between the ages of 14 to 16 years of age.
I just peeped something right now that y'all just said though. In the video, the 2 people are together. The ones that did the shooting, the cop brushes the older dude off and chases the younger one.
Yeah, because he probably seen what they do is it'll be an older cat out there, and they have a younger cat. See, the older cat may be a felon or whatever. So you always keep a younger cat because you like, oh, they ain't gonna charge you.
Yeah,
you're underage.
But peep this though. Too, bro. Peep this though. Right here. That's them.
That's them.
That's both of them.
See, but he stopped the tall one.
But look what the cop do though. The cop do this. Look, brushed him out the way, like this, threw him type shit. Kept it moving. I want the chase.
Tony, know why, right?
Because he probably thought the kid was the one shooting. If the kid had the gun.
No, you know why he did that time, right? He knew already the one that ran had the gun.
Yep.
He already knew.
Yep.
Damn.
He already made up his mind. The kid that's running got the gun.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we got the most strictest gun laws. And look, and as you can see what happened. And kids getting up guns. So as a gun owner, that's hurt me.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy.
I just think that split second tone of turning around like that, like you said, it's a hard call, man. It's you know what I'm saying? Chicago is like that turnaround, that turnaround, and that angle
Yep.
of it. That
very similar situation. I heard of a story, Chicago. You might know about it. That happened because, like I said, I fell down the Chirac rabbit hole. I found down between all the Chirac, the drill music, and all that. And I heard about the story of Little B, and he was killed by CPD as well. he jumped over a fence and his gun dropped out and they shot him in the back or something like that.
Yep.
I don't know the full story. They said that he was aiming it at them, but then some people say he just dropped it. But the gun was over the gate, and then his body was like 15 feet away. So very similar situation. But that thing was not on camera. But
and see, and that's the thing, Tony, because a lot of shootings they say was justified, but you was like, well, how do you know? Like now you can tell and see because of body cam. Back then, you didn't know what was body cam. Only thing everybody was going off was the cop is like, well, it's the cop word. He the only one can tell the story because the other dude he did. So we only got one person to go by.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's a rule. I wanted to ask that police officer too. Don't keep the perp alive if you shoot him.
Well, Rick is still here. I don't know, Rick, are you still here? Like, let me see. Oh, yeah, Rick.
What was the question? What's the question?
That when officer discharge their gun on a perp or somebody with a gun, do not keep the person alive. They shoot to kill.
It's called neutralize. We don't shoot to kill. We shoot to neutralize, meaning stop the threat.
Neutralize? Okay.
Yes, stop the threat. Okay, we never shoot to kill. It's not part of our regulations. Not like that. You neutralize the threat.
You want to hear something a little crazy? I have moved to Pennsylvania, right? And the first thing I did when I got up there, my wife got her gun license, whatever, And when she bought it, the first thing the gun owner told my wife was, when you pull this out, you kill the person.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna use the gun, make sure the other person's not alive.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they tell you when you're going about a gun. If you pull it out, be prepared to use it.
Right. No, not prepared to use it. After you use it, you make sure the other person's not alive.
Yeah.
That too. He can't tell on you, or he can't go to court to testify, or whatever the case may be. The other person is dead, and you're still alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why.
And this is the gun owner telling a person that's buying the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, they tell you that.
I was thinking. I was thinking
people
like
apply for their gun license.
You understand what I'm saying, Tom? You get what I'm trying to say?
What was that?
Like,
my bad.
Like if the police, like when they discharge their firearm, it's to neutralize. That's what the officer's saying. But do some officers think like that? You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this, man. I heard, and I could be wrong, Rick, but from what I heard was that cops are known to empty the clip.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I was trying to ask him.
Empty the whole clip.
Whoa. So you're trained to neutralize the threat, okay?
Right.
Unfortunately, in many cases, neutralizing the threat means taking someone's life. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. I'm not gonna sit here
thank you, man.
and sugarcoat it. You sugarcoat it. If you have to neutralize the threat, it sometimes mean you have to take someone's life. Now, in the case of what you're saying, that your wife or your girlfriend was being trained and
no. She bought a weapon from the gun shop. The owner said, if you pull this out, you make sure the other person is not alive.
You know why?
Yeah.
You ever heard the saying, "Dead men have no testimony"?
Right. That's what I was getting at.
That's reality. It's real.
Right.
It's real.
So that was my question towards you. Like, I know they don't teach that, but I know neutralizing means to take the person out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Rick Rose did that, but I mean, he's speaking the facts there, and like you say, neutralize
mean to take them out.
Listen, neutralize means eliminating the threat. Shooting somebody in their lower mass, like some of you guys are saying, he still can shoot that motherfucking gun.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Like, so if he's armed, you want to neutralize it to where he can't shoot a gun at you. So, yeah, it might mean kill him. It might mean it's shooting someone in the arm is not going to neutralize them. Shooting somebody, like shooting someone in the leg, motherfuckers can fall on the ground and still shoot at you. Right? You know
what I was getting to that point was that all these officers that have been discharging their arm, have you seen any of them alive? They can't testify and say, well, this officer didn't give me a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I've heard that.
They eliminate the person so he won't go to court.
And I've heard that too. I've heard that as well. Like,
I heard it.
Get him the fuck up out of here, basically.
Get him out of here. Yeah, he can't go to court. Because
So,
imagine it's half of these people that they shot stay alive and they go to court and testify against our officer.
So look, IBN, I'll send you the link. I'm gonna be wrapping this up soon because I gotta eat. I know that Zay is going live with his afterwards to continue it on. Zay, are you in the chat? Let us know. Let me know. Salutes to Soldier Kicks. IBN, I'll let you come through. I know you want to say something, so I'm gonna let you come through, man.
Yo, Tone, I'm out of here, man. I just want to salute you.
I
always.
appreciate it.
Great conversation. And I appreciate you.
For sure. I appreciate it, Tone.
I'm gonna get those kicks tomorrow too.
All right, bet. Be on
that. Support and salute.
You already know.
Peace, love, Chicago.
Let me see what's up. Chicago, you got anything else you want to say, man?
No, I mean it's just an unfortunate situation, especially for a 13-year-old to be out that late at night and what have you, because ain't nothing but trouble. Period. Especially on the streets in Chicago. And you know, now everybody in the city down is I don't know if they have it in Atlanta or is it just Chicago. It's a Citizens app, so you just download it and it picks up your location. So that thing go off, man. I think the first time we got like 81 degrees, that thing was going off all day because it was 81 degrees.
Yeah.
Shot spotter. It's called shot spotter.
That thing, every time you look up, and it lets you know like what crime man has a gun or shooting in this way, fighting this way. You like, God damn. And it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to the next morning. You're like, man, niggas ain't sleep. They still fighting and doing crime. That app is like mostly everybody in the city downloaded the app. Even when you're driving, that thing picks up crime just like that. So okay, I ain't going this way. Let me stay on this way. That's why I carry. Man, I carry every day. Every day. When I'm by myself, when I'm with my kids, because sometimes I have to leave out early in the morning. Sometimes I don't. I carry. I gotta make sure my kids are protected and myself.
You and I both. Legit. I was coming out of the store. I'm sitting in my car getting ready to drive off. Dude, 6 shots, a group of dudes. Bang, 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 bang. I had to activate myself. I had to call 911, my gun on my side, and just in case. It's crazy out here, yo. And the thing that kills me is that, yo, I understand there are cops we gotta weed out. I agree. But what the fuck are we doing to ourselves? Like, come on. Like, real talk.
Yeah. So hold on, IBA said you can't come here. Yo, Rodney, what's good? What's good, Rodney? Oh shit. Rodney, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good, bro? I'm gonna let you end it off for me, man. What's good?
So this is my thing. I was literally stopped by the cops in a nice neighborhood because of the color of my skin. My wife is white. She literally sees what I go through every day. I done got stopped twice by the cops because of the color of my skin. First time I was doing Uber and I had the windows rolled down, hoodie on, looked directly at the cops, and I told my wife, I said, watch them follow me. Looked at my rear view, they were following me. And we're literally making jokes. As we're driving, we're making jokes because we're in the neighborhood. So it's a lot of stop signs. So we're literally making jokes. I'm like, I gotta stop at the stop sign before I get here. Yield at the stop sign. Let me stop. You feel what I'm saying? Let me turn on my let me turn on my signal. Turn on my signal, hitting the turn. Got stopped. Police pulled me over, says, what you guys doing? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing is we're targets. We're targets because if my wife was driving and we were driving, let's say a Benz, we would have never got followed. She would have never got followed. If my face was never showing and my wife was driving, we was driving in a nice car, we would have never got stopped. At the end of the day, we're targets. We're targets. I'm seeing people in the comments saying, is separation and what about other races that are getting shot and not reported? Understand, crime is crime and wrong is wrong. I'm for that. But at the end of the day, how many white people have you seen get shot and killed unarmed or for not doing nothing?
Oh, they get taken in.
So let me ask you something though, Ryan, because this is probably another topic that I can follow into later on this week or something. Do you feel like being you say it's your wife, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like your wife being white, it makes you more of a target for the hate of a white
Pro-
woman being with a black man, like that? You're
Probably. See, okay, this is the thing. The second time I got pulled over, my wife was crying in the car because we were arguing. We were arguing over, it was like some type of money thing or whatever. It was some type of money thing, right? I got pulled over. The cop looks at me, is asking me, looking at in the back of my car with his flashlight. What are you guys doing? He looks at my wife. She crying, but she wasn't like she just had her eyes was just red at the time. She was crying in the car, but whenever he pulled us over, her eyes was just red. Ma'am, are you okay? You feel what I'm saying? So probably, I'm not sure, but I mean, to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm more of a target if my wife is being white. I'm not really sure.
I was just curious
But
because
I know for a fact if my wife was to probably say, I may have either hit her or, something to where, he didn't like or whatever, he probably would have made me get out the car and probably either search my vehicle or probably arrested me. I'm not really sure. I really can't tell, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to speak from being biased. You feel what I'm saying?
no, I understand.
I don't want to speak from being biased,
Well,
so I can't really tell if I'm more of a target because my wife is white.
Well, I feel like overall, and I had to talk with what I think was Zaya earlier before I even went live. Like being black, being brown, being Hispanic, there is definitely a difference from being white. Like it's different.
Yeah.
This difference there, and that's not. I'm not gonna ever say that it's the same, but
Yeah.
I do believe with situations like this doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
doesn't like this kid is specifically like. That the cop that jumped at the car, he might have known he was Hispanic because of the neighborhood he was in, but he didn't know anything else. He knew a guy was armed, running. Somebody was armed that was shooting at someone, and that was it. So I get what you're saying. I just feel like at the end of the day, with this specific situation, could we even say he was being targeted? Like he was already, it was known at that point.
And you know what, you're right, and I think it is due to it is fucked up at the end of the day, but I mean it is what it is. Yeah, it's due to the neighborhood that he's in, where he's at.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't make it. It actually makes it worse. So I don't believe that in that situation he was a target. It was a target. I saw what you were doing, whenever you were doing like the gun, I understand that because I actually watched a video of it was like a documentary where, cops were pretty much showing like in heat of moments, and they were literally putting civilians in like situations where, it was a guy at the top of the stairs and he had a gun and never seen how fast they could pull out their gun before, they get shot. So I understand that, what I'm saying? You really can't tell if the kid is going to, turn around, shoot him or anything. So I understand that.
I think there's a big difference between though what you're talking about versus what that is. Like you're minding your business. There's no cops called on a black man riding around screaming at white woman beating. Like that's some different shit. You know what I'm saying? You're just driving, mind your own fucking business, and their problem. But this scenario, we saw the whole fucking thing laid out on the news is just showing the straight up situation. Like we didn't even know it was 2 in the morning till later on. We didn't know that this kid was involved in this shooting. We didn't know a lot of things. So I get it from that standpoint. I get what you're saying, and I still think that what you're speaking on is definitely a problem. But I do want to say at the same time, like in this specific scenario, what that kid did, it was a lot of things that led up to that, But I wanted to hear your opinions coming in at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, because thinking about it, when because I didn't see like all the other like, angles and stuff like that. I didn't see all the other angles. When I first saw what I saw was, it looked like the kid was coming from, like a gate or whatever, and it looked like your dude had his hands up, and the cop shot. I didn't see, dude turn around, drop a gun or whatever.
I didn't see that
I
neither.
didn't even know dude even had a gun in his hand, to be honest.
I didn't see it neither. So that's what I'm saying. That part came way later on, but it's a cause and effect pretty much to everything, like especially in this situation.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So that's us watching from a body cam standpoint. You feel what I'm saying? What do you think the cops saw? Do you think the cops saw the dude drop the gun, turn around, and put his hands up? Now we can't tell, but that's what I'm saying. It's a difference. There's a difference in body cam, us seeing it from the body cam standpoint, from the cop, because the cop can see. You know what I'm saying? The cop, crystal clear. He's watching it from his view. You feel what I'm saying?
All we can take from that situation is that the cop said drop it, and we don't know if the cops ever saw him drop it or not. That's the part.
And okay, so I have a thing. I literally watched. How many videos have we done watched? We done watched so many videos of, white people literally having weapons in their hands, either coming directly at the cop, or the cop would tell them to drop it. The dude still got the gun. Dudes, still got guns in their hands, walking up towards the cop, literally yelling at the cop. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
And the cop is steady pointing at him like, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. Or a video where a guy has a knife and the cop is literally letting the dude run directly at him with the knife before and the cop didn't even let a shot off. Dude grabbed him and I don't know if he slit his neck but he attacked the cop. The cop has blood dripping from his neck before he's even shot.
Yeah.
So my thing is it fair to, like I said, I understand at the heat of the moment, but was it fair to just straight shoot the kid, but without even allowing him to see if he put the gun down?
That was the whole basis of this video, was to more so say in that heat of the moment, is in that specific moment, in this specific moment, is there we know the right and wrong from the taser shit, but this one being 800 milliseconds, is it where does it stand? It's hard to tell. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, like you said earlier, I seen video, you probably seen it. The guy gets in a fight with a cop at the supermarket, and he's trying to take the gun out the cop's. He's trying to take the gun out the cop's holster. Yeah, he needs people that. Yeah, like so. I that shit's all apparent at the end of the day. But with that situation, man, like it's hard to tell because I just don't know how I would feel as a I don't know what I would do like in that heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know, man. I just don't know, like, watching it in hindsight, watching it in slow motion, watching it where I'm in my comfort of my home, I can say, like, yes, the kid had his hands up, the kid surrendered, he shouldn't have been shot. But in that heat of the moment, when you're chasing someone that you know is armed, that you know just shot somebody, that's a whole different situation. Because at the end,
let me ask you a question. So, and it's in retrospect. So, person trying to go after a cop's gun in his holster. Tell me what you think about that. What would you do
as a cop?
You talking about the dude?
Yeah.
I mean, I that cop would have shot that dude. I wouldn't have questioned it.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now.
Cynthia,
rules and regs.
Hold on, real quick. Rick, hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Cynthia, they don't know it's a child. Nobody knew that was a 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. During that moment, we know it now. They just know they're chasing someone. They don't know 13-year-old, just shots fired. They don't know descriptions. They just know shots fired, 2:30 in the morning. That's it. So we can say that now as we know everything, but at that moment, they don't know that's a 13-year-old kid. 2 in the morning, I'm not thinking of a 13-year-old being out at that time.
See that, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of people may not be getting a lot of information. So you know what I'm saying. They whenever you hear a 13-year-old boy get shot, it's a trigger. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, damn,
that's the media.
Another unarmed.
That's the media part. That's where they finesse and they don't tell us everything.
Yeah. See, and that's what had me pissed off, because I didn't even know all the info. I didn't know none of the info. I'm like, damn, another dude shot. Look at the video. You like, damn. You know what I'm saying? He turned around. Looked like he had his hands up. You know what I'm saying? Cop could have, you know what I'm saying, either tased him or you know what I'm saying. You see the dude unarmed, at least go get the dude. You know what I'm saying? 13-year-old boy, you can't contain a 13-year-old boy. You don't need to be at that job. But you know, I didn't know that they didn't, radio it in, 13-year-old boy, none of that.
I mean, they wouldn't know though. It's 2:30 in the morning. They got a call, shots fired at some cars. 10 minutes later, cops pull up. People are running. He's chasing somebody. He's chasing someone that just was shooting at a vehicle. I mean, you're not gonna shoot at the vehicle just to shoot. You're shooting. I mean, I would think as a cop, you're shooting to kill somebody. I don't know. So I'm chasing someone now that I know has a firearm. You see the firearm come out, drop it. He when you don't see him actually drop it, you just see him have it out and then rotate. And when he rotates back around to you, his hands are up now. But you don't see him actually drop the weapon. He throws it and he's throwing it and then in stride doing that. He's doing this. Throwing like that. He's trying to be slick with it. So the cop don't know if he's doing this. You don't know what it's the same. It's all so that I mean I can't speak for the cop.
It's all in one motion.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I can't speak for the cop, but I can speak from my own perspective. I'm in fear for my life at that point. Split second is all it takes. He made a bad decision when his hand came out. It was not no gun in it. Where it could have been either way. It was only 800 milliseconds of decision time making. It wasn't like it was 3 seconds. It wasn't like his hands were up. I surrender, officer 1002, 1003. Bow. That's like, oh my God. It was bow. It was like that. It was drop it would have been just dropping it. Dropping it and throwing like that that's the decision made that cost his life,
So my question is this, and like I said, this ties into, it's fucked up at the end of the day, what I'm saying, due to the situation that the boys in. If it was, let's say in, I don't know, the whitest state. I don't know the white state, but do you think that would have happened in, let's say I don't know the whitest state, but let's say fucking Minnesota?
That's what I'm saying. That's where I can agree with you, and I can agree with that problem. Like definitely that cop knowing he's in that type of area in that territory, his adrenaline's even up more now. If he was chasing somebody in fucking Beverly Hills like that, he's not it's down a little bit. I'm in Beverly Hills, like I might be dealing with some dude that's just tripping right now. I'm not worried about that. But I'm in the middle of little village where I know there's a lot of gangs, they banging, they clapping, they shooting and killing. I'm even more in fear of my life now.
Yeah.
Nobody's right now in this chat is gonna go run down little village with a pistol just running down the street. You're gonna be if you doing that shit, you're gonna be fucking scared as fuck. Because somebody gonna see you running down the street with a gun and more than likely might shoot your ass. So think about being a cop doing that and you're by yourself. I didn't see any other cops with them till later on. Like that's scary, bro. But I'm not trying to give that cop a way out. I'm just giving you the perspective, because at the end of the day, if we were all in that guy's shoes, we can say what we would have did in hindsight, but we don't really know what we would have did in that heat of that moment. That's what I'm just trying to say. The mistake that the cop made is a mistake that a lot of us would make as well. The mistake that the cop made with the taser, I don't believe a lot of us would have made that same mistake. I think we would know the difference between the taser. That's the main thing.
Bruh, that's the thing. Like I'm looking because me and my wife, we're looking at like, different states, how the taser look. All of them are what? Yellow. You holding the taser at your peripheral. You can't see that motherfucker is bright yellow. And the thing is, in the video, whenever she takes it out, it's not like she did with the cop with the 13-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? When she took it out, she's literally aiming for a couple of seconds. So you can't see if you got a bright yellow taser in your hand. And the weight is completely different from a taser and a gun. That's the thing. Like, it's bright yellow. You're holding it out. Now, ain't nobody gonna hold no taser like this. You know what I'm saying? To where you can't see. She's holding it out to where even if I'm looking directly at somebody and I'm not looking at the taser, you're gonna see in your peripheral if it's yellow. It's gonna stand out.
With that situation, bro, like, I'm sorry. That situation was a little bit of an adrenaline rush. It was a little bit crazy, but I feel like the cops had it a little bit more under control. You have a guy that wasn't he cuffed already, or was he? Nah, he wasn't cuffed, but they had him. He wasn't like trying to grab. I don't know. It just didn't look like it was that crazy enough for her to be able to just be so in tune. Like she can't see her gun. Like I feel like,
and that's the thing. The other cop looked like he had it under control, because when the dude jumped in the car, They didn't even give the other cop a chance to at least pull him out.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
The only reason why that guy got away is because the gunshot. Wow! Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Everybody stopped what they was doing. Everybody, even the cops was like, "The fuck?" And then he just drove off because it wasn't like he got away. It was the people was like, "Who got shot? Did I get shot? Did you get shot?" Did he? Right. They didn't know. Everybody just stopped and he just drove off. They had it under control in some aspect, in my opinion.
They did, and that's the thing. Like, she didn't even, and to be honest, I don't even think the other cop needed her because, like I said, whenever dude jumped in the car, she didn't even give the other cop a chance to even at least, because the cop that was arresting him, he looked bigger, he looked taller. You feel what I'm saying? Than that 20-year-old boy. You feel what I'm saying? And then you have she didn't even give dude a chance to at least try to pull him out. Or let's say if he was trying to pull him out, you couldn't try to pull him out at the same time. You had to grab your taser. You needed to grab your taser. You couldn't at least try to pull him out and then try to grab your taser. The first thing she did was whenever she came over there, she grabs the boy. The other dude is steady tugging at him. She grabs him and then she reaches for her gun.
Yeah.
And then, but that's the thing. That's the thing. That's what's so sad when it comes to also that situation is whenever she shot, or whenever before she shot, she said taser. I think she did that to cover herself. She you know what your gun look like. You know how heavy your gun is. You sit there and you say taser, shoot, it's on a police cam. So whenever they get you, they can say, make a case, well, she said taser, that means she tried to, use her taser. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the
end of the day, growing up, like all of us growing up, we all know, remember back in the day, tasers were black. They were black. Taser guns, even the shooting guns were black. They've made them specifically yellow now I'm pretty sure for reasons like that. So you can know yellow eyes are So I mean, that's just.
But that's the thing. She did that to cover herself. Because that's I don't know if you ever been through this in the situation or whatever. But when I was a little kid and my mom would get mad at me or I'd just get a whooping, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pissed off. I'm running to the room. I'm stumping off to the room. I slam the door. I usually to cover myself so she won't come bring her ass back in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I done slam the door. You slam the door, you gonna get your ass in trouble, right? I usually would yell out, "Oh man, I didn't slam the door. Oh, I didn't mean to slam the door," to cover myself. So if she walk in there, I can say, "I didn't mean to slam the door." You feel what I'm saying?
Nah, exactly.
It's just like in that situation. She said taser before she shot. Taser, boom. Then oh, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on now. That situation.
I get what you're saying. Yo, I'm about to go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're at 2 hours and 20 seconds. Yo, Rodney, make sure you come through in future lives, man. I'd love to hear your word, man. Rick, I appreciate you, Rick. I don't know if Rick, you still there? I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm here. No, I'm here. I'm here.
I appreciate you, Rick. Give me some insight as well, man. You stay blessed, stay up, all right?
Yeah, definitely, brother.
All right,
appreciate you.
Y'all have a good night, man.
Yeah, have a good night, brother.
Yes, sir. Yo, chat, I'm going to go ahead and end this thing off. I appreciate everybody who came through. I'm about to go grab me something to eat. I'm going to kick back, relax. Got some videos dropping for you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned. And I got some videos dropping on this channel as well. Hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate everybody who came through and showed some love and support as always. And I hope you guys got a different perspective, or at least we can open our eyes up. And yes, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people to blame. But it all starts at the household, the parents. Is the mom the reason why the son died? No, the son played his own part in his own death. You know what I'm saying? The cops made a mistake as well. It's a lot of different things that we can point our fingers at. But I can promise you, show that video to your brother, your sister, your son, your nephew, your daughter, whoever. And I'm pretty sure it can open up and let them know that, 2 a.m. ain't where you need to be at. Susan, Uncle Skinny in the motherfucking building too. I'm not here to blame the mom, blame the kid. I'm just here to really show that it's a bigger problem than just PD, the police officer, unarmed, 800 milliseconds. If you doing something wrong and you at that moment are no longer doing it, doesn't mean that you wasn't doing something wrong a second later. If you point a gun at someone and say, "Give me all your fucking money," and then the cop walks by and you put your gun, you hide it, and then somebody said, hey, he was robbing me, and you put your hands up. I wasn't robbing him. No, I wasn't. You were still robbing that person at that time. You might not be robbing them at that immediate exact moment, but it happened. Now, am I saying that if you had a gun and then you put the gun away and then 10 seconds later get shot and you're unarmed, that's a whole different difference. But you're talking about 800 millisecond difference of arm, throwing it, hand up, bow. That's where these things all play, and this is where stuff gets very, very weird and sketchy. So, hope you guys enjoy the show. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. At the end of the day, we all got to do better. Cops, parents, kids. You know what I'm saying? And hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I love y'all. I'm out. Hit that like for y'all on the way out. Please hit the like button. That's the least you can do, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Make sure I ain't got no cash apps. Yeah.